And we welcome you to another game day broadcast of North Bay Battalion hockey. Bob Coles here with you as the battalion do battle with the Niagara Ice Dogs tonight. Busy week for the battalion as they enter this game on a 4-game winning streak. And they get Niagara at home tonight. They head to Mississauga tomorrow, and they wrap up their week with a Sunday matinee against the Sudbury Wolves. Derek Lindeman joining me here on the pregame show. And Derek, these are sort of points the battalion got to get. They play Sudbury and Niagara for a total of 10 times in their last 24 games. So these are 2 points they want to get, and also a little payback because the Ice Dogs have beaten the battalion the last 2 times they've played.
Every game's been close. Last 2 games, a shootout and an overtime loss. But definitely, when you looked at the North Bay Battalion, only have 24 games remaining. They're really quite a few games ahead of the rest of the league, and the team's trying to catch them in the standings. And when you're playing Niagara and Sudbury, teams that are lower, 10 more times, those are games you got to pick up points. So a very important 2 points on the line tonight. Game notes tonight, Dom DiVincentis back in the lineup. He was out in the Niagara game with a concussion, but he's going to start in goal. Alexander Lukin, who's missed the last couple of games, is back on the battalion D. But the big news, Derek, Kyle Jackson, who's been out since December, is back on the top line with Petrov and Co. Yeah, he's making his return since December 3rd when he went out with an injury against the Hamilton Bulldogs. And he was red hot just before that. In the 10 previous games before he got hurt, he scored 24 points over that 10-game span. 8 of those games he picked up multiple points. So he was a big loss, and it's been some time, and he's going to rejoin his teammates, Petrov and Co. on that top line. Let's see if they can regain that chemistry. He wants to prove something as he's got some jump in his step coming into this last half of the season.
And the big news, of course, is it allows them to put Mitchell Russell on the second line. Battalion still missing captain Liam Arnsby. Well, yesterday, Ryan Houlihan, the battalion coach, held his weekly scrum. Let's hear that now.
Resiliency is something that you see in this hockey team. I mean, yes, you got Matvei Petrov back, but you still had a number of guys out. They played 3, well, you won 4-0. We played 3 quality opponents, the same one twice, and won them all. I mean, that says a lot to whatever kids you're throwing out there that they're doing their thing.
It does, and what I've been saying here is the guys that have been getting the opportunities, on the younger side of things, those guys have really come through with us. You look in those games and you're getting contributions from some guys that, those are huge bonus points, right? Those are just massive for our team, and you can see when some of the guys getting their first goals too, how loud our bench goes, and that just goes to show how close and tight-knit this group is, and you find ways to win when you're that close and that tight.
But you were in a funk for a while, and that funk is gone now. You can just sense the confidence in watching them move the puck around, too. It's not like there's not a tentative part to it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, and I think when you finally get some success, and it was hard, nobody feels sorry for you when you're in a losing streak. If anything, teams play harder on you, try to take advantage on you, and then all of a sudden when you get that shootout win against Ottawa, you could just see maybe us grow a little bit bigger, get a little bit stronger, and then follow it up with, like you said, a really strong weekend.
How do those last 3 big wins kind of push you guys forward leading into this week?
Well, we're hoping that they do. It's not always a given. There's a lot of hard work that has to go into it. And when you look around the league, everybody's playing really good hockey and playing for things now. Now you're in the situation where you can't look at standings because, teams are playing for stuff. And that's the team we're playing tomorrow. They're fighting for the playoffs right now, and I'm sure we're going to see their best hockey.
I want to ask you about Friday night, though. Is it important to play them to set a tone for the playoffs against Mississauga because of who they are and what they've done? You had to play them a couple of times with short lineups. You apparently are getting some reinforcements this week. Are you big on making a statement game, so to speak, on Friday?
No, not really. I think it's way too early to start doing that, and you don't want to get the emotions revved up because we have 3 important games this weekend. We don't just have it focused in on the one, So quite frankly, it's the message right now is we need to be playing better hockey against the Niagara team. That's a team that's beat us twice the last 2 times that they've played us. So I guess that's where my head's at right now.
Were you impressed with Joe's play, the 3 games in a row there? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and really 6 in a row too, right? That's a lot of hockey for him to have to step up. You know, it was unfortunate losing Dom there for a little bit, and Big Joe does what he does best. He stepped up to the plate and played some really good hockey.
My spies tell me that you're going to get Jackson and Lucan back this week. If they are back, that's a huge boost.
It would be massive, yeah. We're just making sure they get through practice okay here today, but they are looking good. They're looking energized, and if they are to play tomorrow, I'm sure they would be excited.
I want to ask a follow-up. When a guy, and I don't know how your career history and missing a lot of time, is it take time to get back to game shape than just practice shape?
It does, and you got to ease into, obviously a guy like Kyle Jackson, for instance, is somebody that would want to play a lot of minutes. That's not going to happen, overnight and from game one. He's going to have to get himself into game speed. You cannot replicate it. As much as he's been practicing and doing a great job in the gym, he's going to have to get all those repetitions now in a game, and that'll take some time. Usually, in my experience, the first game's the easiest because you got the adrenaline pumping, and then being able to play a back-to-back and being able to get through a whole weekend, that will be something that we'll have to be patient on.
This pre-gaming show is brought to you by Long's Maple Syrup. When you're looking to purchase some fine local maple syrup, visit longsmaplesyrup.ca. While there, you can check out their recipes, get great meal ideas anywhere from breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even desserts. Again, that's longsmaplesyrup.ca.
Thank you very much, Derek, and Coach Ryan Houlihan. Of course, the battalion back in action with Alexander Lucan tonight, and of course Kyle Jackson. And yesterday we had a chance to visit with battalion forward, returning to the lineup tonight, Kyle Jackson.
It must be hard mentally.
Yeah, I know. Throughout my career I've been very good with injuries and broken bones and all that type of stuff. So this is the first time in my career I had to deal with something like being out this long, and obviously it's been tough, but I'm just excited to get back.
Can you elaborate a little on that? What are you feeling? We've heard potentially sooner rather than later you'll be back. How are you feeling?
Yeah, very soon. Hopefully this week, and just see how things go today in practice, and yeah.
Mentally or like emotionally, how do you feel getting back into an actual game?
Yeah, I know I'm ready. It's been 8 and 10 weeks now, so it's just working on my mind, my body, and I think I'm ready to come back.
What's the hardest part? Well, you have nothing to compare this to, but going on the ice is so much different in a game where people are taking shots at you and taking runs at you. In practice, nobody's taking a run at you. Does that weigh on you when you go on the ice about the fact you're going to be competing and playing maybe a more physical game and dealing with physicality out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the game of hockey, right? So that's just my mind's got to be ready to take a hit, and obviously in practice that isn't happening, but I just got to be prepared, and I think I will be.
And Kyle Jackson, of course, I love his story. He probably should have been up here sooner, I think. With the new regime here, I think one of the first things they did, they wanted to get Kyle Jackson up here to play a full season. And, of course, that was going to be last year, but, of course, there was no OHL last year. And so he was one of the great stories, maybe even MVP of this team, because he could play with the top line. He could also take some of the pressure off the second line, worked some great magic with Cohen Petrov earlier. He also was put on the second line to get Arnsby going before he was injured. So a very valuable guy, and they've really missed him.
Yeah, they have missed Kyle Jackson. Very valuable going up and down the lineup. No matter where they put him, he was successful, whether they needed that extra scoring punch, that defensive end edge. He was the guy that you could always look down to the bench and give that tap and send him out there. And you know what? They're going to be a much better team now that he's back in the lineup tonight.
Tanias Mathurin still out. We're hearing it's not a season-ending injury, but he'll be out for a while. So Alexander Lucan steps in, and it's good to have him back, really shoring up the decor.
Yeah, he started, I found, a little bit to gain his confidence the last few games before he got hurt. He's a big body. He's a physical presence back there, something that the North Bay Battalion really don't have on that back end is that big physical presence. He provides that. And again, his confidence is growing. He scored a goal just before he got injured, getting his first in the OHL. And there's a very bright future ahead for this kid and regain that confidence as he's back in the lineup.
As we heard, Joe Verbek's been carrying the goaltending by himself ever since DiVincentis went down with that concussion injury. He's back tonight. The guy who gave him the concussion, Christian, he's not playing tonight, but it's good news for the battalion, giving Joe Verbek a night off on a busy week here with putting Dom in net.
It is, and just talking to Ryan Houlihan, it was more of also a confidence of who they had coming up as backups. Did they really have the confidence to put another young kid in the lineup? This just takes a big ease off of Ryan Houlihan, knowing that Dom is back in and ready to play. Let's see how he responds tonight after that injury he suffered a couple weeks ago, taking on the Niagara Ice Dogs, the team he went out again. Again, Gushin's still not in the lineup. He served his suspension, but he got another 2-game suspension. He's got 6 points in those 4 games against the North Bay Battalion. He's a big loss for the Niagara Ice Dogs.
And the season series, Derek's interesting. North Bay had their way with the Ice Dogs the first 2 games, one here, one in St. Catharines, but the last 2 have been a game Niagara likes, high scoring, lots of offense. That was an overtime win for the Ice Dogs here. And then a shootout win when they met on a Tuesday night to make up for a scheduled game. So the battalion probably feel they owe Niagara one tonight.
They definitely feel like they owe them one. When I looked at the team stats comparing head-to-head, Niagara really didn't have any one player other than Gushin that stood out. All their offense was provided. It was spread out. Nobody had more than 3 points. When you look at the North Bay Battalion head-to-head stats, you had Coe out there with 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Petrov had 9 points in those games. Russell has 4 goals. So all of the goal scoring was still from that one line. They're still going to need that. They're going to be looking for more secondary scoring, and that's one thing they've gotten in the last few games over the weekend.
In our intermissions tonight, we'll hear about a future star in the second intermission, a North Bay Trappers U16 player. We'll talk to Mitchell Russell as well, and Ryan Houlihan, this week's podcast guest with Courtney Kenny. So, and Ryan, it's good to hear Ryan in depth this week, and we'll share some of that in our first intermission. We'll also talk Olympics, and we'll check the OHL scoreboard. Of course, if you're thinking Olympics, don't worry. Canada's not playing till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the women's quarterfinals against Sweden. And then a big Canada-U.S. men's game tomorrow night. Both teams winning handily. The winner of tomorrow night's game Derek will get number 1 in the group. So that's a big game tomorrow night.
It is definitely a big game. We'll talk more in depth about the games yesterday during probably the first intermission. But you know what? It's nice to see the men's hockey getting underway. The times really don't line up so much for us over here in the Eastern time zone. They're 13 hours ahead over there in Beijing. But you know what? It's always good hockey, and it's going to get exciting as the teams dwindle down and the medal round takes over.
Okay, so I'm going to get out of here as I wrap up my pregame work. Matt and Courtney, of course. Courtney will have the color tonight, and Matt Sukram will have the play-by-play story, and Derek will have your between-period report. So all that ahead here as Courtney climbs into the booth. And Courtney, have a great broadcast.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coles. And climbing is probably the best word for it, as it's getting a little bit tight up here. There's definitely no social distancing up here in the booth. But yes, we're back with some more North Bay Battalion hockey here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. I'm Courtney Kenny, your color analyst, joined by Matt Sukram, the play-by-play guy. And after a weekend where we didn't get to hear too much of you, Matt, other than the Thursday game, it's good to have you back here in the booth and with us for tonight's game against the Ice Dogs.
Always a pleasure to be in the booth when I can make it here. Sometimes, as we used to say on the old podcast I used to do with Adam Contant, life happens.
It does. It really does.
So, yeah, no, great to be here. As Bob was saying, I mean, I think the North Bay Battalion feel like they owe one to the Niagara Ice Dogs here, right?
Yeah.
North Bay seemingly was on quite a roll, and then they've gone up against the Niagara Ice Dogs a couple of times this season, and that roll just screeches to a halt
Absolutely.
against this team.
It's strange because when you look at the standings, these two are complete opposite directions. The Battalion are a strong, strong team. The Ice Dogs, and I said this to Tom on the podcast this week, the Battalion have had some tough games against them, and you mentioned that, Bob's mentioned that. But yeah, they've had some really tough games against this team that doesn't really seem like they're a rebuilding team. And of course, without Gushkin in the lineup here tonight, again, they lose a little bit of that firepower. Although they still have some of it, because Finnis and Castle, they're former first rounders for this team. Well, first rounder in 2020 was Finnis for the Ice Dogs, and Castle for the Oshawa Generals, then making his way over here by trade just before the start of this season. But yeah, they do have some firepower, but Gushkin really takes away some of their edge. And maybe for the Battalion, with Dom DiVincentis getting the start in net again, which his last start came against these Ice Dogs before he was hurt by a Gushkin hit. Maybe the Battalion are a little bit disappointed that Gushkin's suspended again, because they don't really get a chance to say, hey, remember when you went after our goalie? Well, we don't forget either. So it'll be an interesting game regardless.
Dom DiVincentis is 1-0 against the Ice Dogs so far, of course, in 2 games. But one of those games cut short after about 39 minutes. And he gave up just 3 goals against in those games. So it'll be interesting to see how Dom does against the Ice Dogs tonight. We'll pause for O Canada. That's Brent LaBrosse with the national anthem tonight. Courtney, we were just talking about Dom DiVincentis in net for the North Bay Battalion and how he's done specifically against the Ice Dogs, but to this point of the season, let's take a look at how Dom DiVincentis has fared.
Yeah, so Dom DiVincentis totally on the season. He's played in 14 games so far, and he's kind of been his stats indicate that he's been part of the bad luck Bad News Bears, so to speak. He only has 4 wins and 7 losses, so he hasn't really gotten, as I joked with him on the podcast, we were going to call him Doc, because Roy Halladay used to not get run support. Dom DiVincentis doesn't seem to get the run support. He's got really remarkable numbers. He's got 296 goals against average and 899 save percentage, and against him is Josh Rosenwig, who has 17 games played. He's 4-10. With 2 overtime losses, 1 shootout loss, and 1 shootout. His goals against average is .416, and he has an .878 save percentage. So it looks like a mismatch in the crease, but we're going to see here as DiVincentis returns from injury, and as you know, any bit of layover sometimes can really hurt your momentum as a player.
And Rosenzweig has started 2 games against the Battalion this year, 1-1 with a 3.36 goals against average in those 2 games against the North Bay Battalion. The puck is dropped and we are underway. Sirizati chasing the puck into the North Bay zone, flipped around to the point. That's Cato there for the Ice Dogs. Takes a shot, it's off his stick, bouncing to the far side boards. It's Koa picks it up for North Bay. He gets it up to the blue line. Kyle Jackson, backhanded pass in the neutral zone, is picked off by Cato, and he goes the other way. Back over the blue line into the North Bay zone, in behind the net, centers, and the shot is just wide of the net. That was Sirizati on that shot. A rebound chance comes back towards DiVincentis. He holds on to it for stoppage in play. 19:26 to go in the first.
And I know it's been talked about on previous broadcasts how much he was missed. I know it's been talked about on the podcast how much he's been missed. And I know it's been talked about here tonight that he's back in the lineup. That's Kyle Jackson centering that top line of with Petrov and Co. So his usual running mates. Good to see Kyle Jackson back in the lineup.
Pamo Femus in the face-off circle. He was going up against Russell. Russell just waved out. So Van Steensel comes in to take the draw. Van Steensel wins it into the corner, but the Ice Dogs jump all over it. Good hit on the boards by Ladd to get the puck knocked away from that area for the Battalion, and now they break out of the zone with it. down the left wing side, and a pass over the blue line to Van Steensel. Now he gets held on the boards, and it's the Ice Dogs in control of the puck. Racing down the left wing side is Cam Peters, the former Battalion. He dumps it in. Played behind the net by DiVincentis. Sends it into the corner. It's Peters on it there. He cuts to the middle. The shot wide of the net. Down at the point, another one comes in. That's deflected wide. Goes into the near side corner. Femus sends it down to the point. Donnie Cito lost it at the line. And now Van Steensel goes into the zone. Backhands it through his legs to McDonald, but he can't get a shot off. Neat play there by the Battalion. But the puck went wide of the net. A minute and a half in as the puck is in the neutral zone. That's Lukin on it. He brings it up over the blue line. Drops it to Russell, who fires it in. Blocker save made by the goaltender Rosenzweig. It's played behind the net. Controlled back there by, that's Donacio, who gets it up to the blue line. Out to the neutral zone. Coming in the zone is Agostinelli. He gets hit into the far side corner. And now the puck comes loose. It's Lukin on it. Plays it down the half boards on the near side. Outwater trying to get it out of the zone. There's a hard hit. Agostinelli goes down. Lukin throwing his weight around. The puck goes to the far side boards, and it clears the zone. 2 minutes into the game, no score. Oh, Outwater down the ice. Plays it to Wakely in the corner. Knocked away from his stick and cleared by the Ice Dogs. Chased down the ice by Nelson. Icing waved off as he gets to the puck off the end boards. Now he circles the zone and heads down his left wing. Gets it up to the Ice Dogs blue line and dumps it in. Played behind the net by the goaltender Rosenzweig. To the near side boards to Femus. Femus gets it up to Wysick, who lost it to Bouchard of the Battalion in the neutral zone. Now Femus gets it back away from him, and he hits down the other way. Femus in to the zone, tries to cut to the middle, kept to the outside. Now he'll circle the zone, going to the point on the far side. Now to the middle, takes a shot, glove save made by DiVincentis, and he'll hold on to it. 2:45 gone to begin this game. No score. And in that shift, we saw the excellence of Ty Nelson, who is third in rookie scoring going into this game. Third as a defenseman.
Yes, very, very impressive. And we haven't used this term in a while, but Ty Nelson has been as advertised, if not more, for the North Bay Battalion so far this season. He's been, what a find. I mean, it's pretty hard to really say a find when he's the first overall pick, but what a find for GM Adam Dennison in the North Bay Battalion.
Off the draw, the Battalion win it. Going down the ice. Nelson has it. Flips it up to the high slot area. The rebound shot comes in. That's turned aside. Another shot, and that's turned away and cleared out of the zone. Winslow in the neutral zone for North Bay. Up to Nelson, now to Coe, now to Petrov. Coming in on the left wing side. It's knocked off his stick, picked up by Cato of the Ice Dogs. He lost it behind the net, but getting it back quickly is Dakota Betts. And he looks to get it up to the blue line and out of the zone. Carrying it down the ice are the Ice Dogs. It's Betts on the carry. Played behind the North Bay net, taken away from him, and now Jackson gets out of the zone for North Bay. Down the left wing side, over the blue line, into the Ice Dog zone, into the corner. Plays it behind the net, chasing it to the far corner is Coe. Coe centers it, nobody there for North Bay. Off the boards, picked up by Sirizotti and cleared out of the zone. It is now controlled by Ladd of the Battalion at his own blue line. Drops further back into his zone as his forwards get a change, and it's Russell on the ice, who gives it to McDonald, centering to Van Steensel, but he can't get a shot off. Picked up on the far side boards by Peters. He clears the zone, but Van Steensel gets it right back. He finds Russell coming in on the left side, takes a shot wide of the net, off the end boards, down to the point, Christopoulos. Plays it up to the half boards to McDonald. McDonald at the blue line, sends it into the corner. Van Steensel is there. He twists and turns, gets some room, goes to the circle. His shot is blocked. Down to the point, it's Ladd. Ladd keeping the puck in the zone as he skates to the far side boards. Sends it across the near side. It's off the body of Christopoulos, picked up by the Ice Dogs, and they've got numbers the other way. It's Castle. Drops it back to Femus. The shot save made by DiVincentis, and the blocker rebound goes all the way out of the zone. Picked up behind his own blue line is Donacido, and he sends it down into the North Bay end. Ladd picks it up, plays behind the net. Now picked up around to the other side. It's Ladd there again. Sent out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Ryan Struthers of the Ice Dogs. He plays it up to the North Bay blue line. Controlled there by Lukin. Lukin passed down the ice to Outwater. He gets it over the blue line, but then Wysick takes it away from him. Wysick sends it to the corner for Enright. He sends it back down the left wing side for Struthers coming in to the zone. He plays it into the corner to Agostinelli, who gets hit in that corner, but the puck gets knocked loose, and now it's down on the near side A big battle ensuing there. The arm is up of the official, and we're going to get a hold coming up against the North Bay Battalion. So 5:20 into period number 1. The Battalion are going to be shorthanded.
The Battalion penalty kill percentage, 77.6% on the season. That's good for 14th in the league, whereas the Ice Dogs have power play opportunity. Chances is a little bit better than their penalty kill, but it is not really lethal. It's 22.4%, good for 11th on the league. And the Ice Dogs looking to get some momentum here with their power play opportunity.
Play it inside the North Bay zone. Donizio to the near side, Sarazati, shot, and it's wide of the net. The puck comes up to the line. Russell trying to clear it in a battle with Femus, and Femus is knocked down. Ladd gets the puck in the North Bay far side corner, and he whips it around the boards, and it's cleared down the ice. 30 seconds taken off the clock, and the penalty to Govro. Almost 6 minutes gone in the first period. No score yet here at Memorial Gardens. Play back inside the North Bay zone in the near side corner. Winslow's down there for North Bay. The defender trying to shield the puck and kill more seconds off this power play clock. It comes loose. It's picked up by Nelson. He gets it up to the line, and Donizio can't hold it there. And now they're saying that he did come back over the blue line, so that is going to be an offside called against the Ice Dogs. So 6:15 gone in period number 1. No score with 1:04 remaining in the Govro penalty.
It was a bit of an interesting call just because of how delayed it seemed to be and the way he stick handled it. So I don't know how far he got out of it, but evidently the linesman saw some of that white paint on the other side of the blue. So we'll defer to his judgment over us up in the booth.
Play at the blue line. Ice Dogs walking in. The shot from Betts. It's wide, glove side. Rebound down to the point to Cato. Back to the left side. It's Betts. Plays it up to the circle. Now to the near side to Cato. Cato walking in across the castle on the far side. Down to Betts. The shot. Did it get through? It did, but it's right into the chest of DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for stoppage and play.
So you mentioned him briefly, but I want to highlight him and a player that's currently on the Battalion. You mentioned Cam Peters, who was a second-round pick, 29th overall. And then fast forward a few years to 2020, Dallin Wakely was a 29th overall selection as well, but we'll get more into that in just a little bit as play's about to get back underway.
37 seconds remaining in the Govro penalty. 5-on-4 for the Ice Dogs. At the line, they lost the puck. Russell with a poke check, and Russell goes down the ice for the Battalion, gets into the Niagara zone, and then he's stripped of the puck at the line. But then it's shot around to the near side corner, deep in the Ice Dog zone. Getting it out of the zone now is Dakota Betts. He gets it over the North Bay blue line. There's a pass up the middle. That's deflected wide and is now picked up by Russell. He goes behind the net, gets it to the line, but Betts keeps it in the zone. Feeds it to the half-boards, down to the point to Cato. Across the left side, it's Betts. Walking to the middle, to the left side to Castle. Castle down the point to Betts. One-timer shot, save made. The rebound kicks to the left side, and it is denied again. Good defensive collapse in a scoring area by the Battalion. It's Cato in the corner now. He tries to center it. That gets blocked. The puck comes around to the half-boards. Castle can't hold it there, and we're back to 5-on-5 play as the Ice Dogs were not able to take advantage on their first power play of the game. 7:45 into the opening period, no score. Dakota Betts has it in his own zone. He gets it up to the blue line. Castle kicks it away. The Battalion maintain possession in the zone. Petrov, no-look shot, and it's just wide of the net. Now Jackson picks it up on the far side half-boards. He's held there by a couple of players. The puck gets knocked down over the blue line. Nelson chases it out to the neutral zone, cuts around to the near side, dumps it in on the backhand. It hits off the official, and now the Ice Dogs have control of it. It's to the far side. Trying to get it out of the zone is Douglas Najem, and he will dump it down the ice, but that is past everybody. Icing called against the Ice Dogs, and with 11:37 remaining in the first, it's no score.
So as mentioned, Wakely has gone 29th overall, so is Cam Peters. Cam Peters hasn't been really what the Ice Dogs have hoped him to be so far. He only has, this is his best season with 7 points so far in 33. Where that ranks on the second round selection will be coming back up here momentarily. Actually, quick stoppage of play. So the top second round point getter for the Battalion in the season is Simon Rose with 22. Wakely has 18, which is tied for second. In his rookie year, Roses came in his sophomore year. Mike Barrett is who he's tied with the second. Cam Peters is at 7, so he's way down on the list.
There's a shot for the point. They score. Paul Christopoulos off the draw, fires it in over the glove side of Rosenzweig, and the North Bay Battalion take a 1-0 lead, 11:30 in.
What a shot by Christopoulos. We've seen him recently in these past couple of games take more and more shots, and right off the draw, getting the chance in a one-timer from the blue line, just kind of handcuffed Rosenzweig a little bit as it got the top corner, but it looked like it just kind of, it wasn't the hardest hit shot, but it was a nice shot by Paul Christopoulos, and it's good to see him shoot the puck more.
For Paul Christopoulos, that should be his third goal of the season, 10 points on the year for number 4. And now, after the whistle, play resumes. There's a hit on the boards, and it looks like the Battalion are going to get called for interference here. That is McDonald that's being led to the box. So it was right off the faceoff. The play going into the North Bay zone. McDonald called for interference. So the Niagara Ice Dogs are on their second power play of the game already. And we are 8:40 into this game.
So Christopoulos' goal takes him one away from his career high, which was his rookie season of 11 points. Mind you, this is his second year in the league and already climbing that list higher than Cam Peters, I must say, on the second rounders, Matt.
So play underway in the North Bay zone. Shot on net, loose puck on the blue paint, but DiVincentis finds it. And what was key there was that the Battalion defense had kept the pressure to the outside of that scoring area.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Going into the season, a lot of the question marks seemed to surround the D on this team. You know, there was a lot of young guys with Christopoulos. I mean, coming into the year, the only player that had played a full season is Simon Rose, who's no longer on the team. Grayson Ladd has taken over that spot, but still, the D on this team, the defense core, has been one of the strengths on this team with the play of Ty Nelson, Tanias Mathurin, who's currently injured. Govros looked great, Lukens looked great, and Christopoulos getting a goal here tonight, looking great as well. So those young guns paying very big dividends for the Battalion.
15 seconds off the clock in the second power play for the Ice Dogs. 9 minutes into the first period. 1-0 North Bay lead, and off the draw they send it down the ice to kill some more time. Bringing it down the ice, Donicio. Into the near side corner, lost the puck. The Battalion looked to clear. It goes off the glass, hits the top or the bottom of the netting, and another stoppage in play.
Yeah, the Ice Dogs can't really get much going here on their power play opportunity. The puck just keeps getting or finding the Battalion, and through the first 40 seconds, they're able to get the puck down the ice and kill some valuable time.
9:20 gone in the opening period. 1-0 North Bay. The Ice Dogs now win the draw and look to attack. Sirazati with a shot in and out of the glove, loose on the doorstep, and now cleared away by the Battalion. It's Ty Nelson picking it up and sending it the entire length of the ice. Rosenzweig way out of his net, gets it back up to Sirazati. Now to Michaud over the blue line, tries to cut to the middle, but Nelson with a little poke check gets it away from him. The puck now in the corner, bouncing out to the middle of the zone, but picked up quickly by Petrov and cleared, and it's up to the stick of Tarasenko. He's going one-on-one into the zone. Tarasenko puts on the brakes in the middle, and then takes a little too long to decide what to do with the puck as Sirazati comes all the way back and gets it away from him. Check that Tarasenko is the professional. Maybe one day, though.
Yeah, you know what? The Battalion are pretty high on him, so why not? But he hasn't, he needs to get a couple of more points before the NHL really seriously considers him.
10.5 gone in this opening period. 1-0 lead. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to McDonald. People tuning in were probably going, wait, what? Did they make a trade?
Big blockbuster coming down to North Bay.
Here's Cato with the shot. It's off his stick, high and over the glass, and now to play just as McDonald steps back out onto the ice. So 10:45 gone in the first period. It's a 1-0 North Bay lead, and Derek, they've killed off 2 penalties in this opening 10.5 minutes or so.
Yes, the big story of the first period has been the play of Dom DiVincentis. Currently has turned aside all 8 shots fired towards him as they've had to kill off 2 early penalties. But the other story is Paul Christopoulos, third of the season, has put the battalion up 1-0 here, 10:45 into the first period. Coming up in the first intermission, I'll be joined by Bob Coles as we take a look at the other 3 games going on in the OHL tonight on this Thursday evening. And we'll be listening to head coach Ryan Houlihan as he joined Tom Parise and Courtney Kenny on this week's The Frontline podcast episode, where he discusses the first half of this season. Now, for the conclusion of this first period, let's rejoin Courtney Kenny and Matt Sukram.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lindemann, and Dallin Wakely picking up that assist, bringing him now to 19 points on the year, so he's closing in on Simon Rose's second-round record, and some good players that they've drafted in the second round, like Simon Rose and Wakely and Sema and whatnot, but it really speaks to the years that the battalion were just kind of lost at the draft room, that 22 is the record.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to go and look at how other teams fare in those rounds, but I gotta imagine that there's definitely been some steals in the second round where, there's gotta be a guy who's maybe put up a consistent 40, 50 points, over a OHL career that got drafted in the second round. But certainly, yes, the North Bay Battalion looking for more impact out of those depth spots. And Wakely certainly turning that trend around with Adam Dennis now in the GM role. 8:45 to go in the first period. The battalion looking to get the puck out of the zone. Tarasevic has it behind the net. Plays it over to Govro. Govro looks to clear, gets down to the point. Leonard trying to keep it in. He does as he moves it down the half boards, but it's Govro picking it up for the battalion. Tries to move it back down the near side half boards. Tarasevic picks it up, sends it over to Lukin. Lukin clears the zone and goes down the ice, but Lukin had a little kick motion to get it over the blue line, and that little delay caused the other battalion forwards to go ahead of him over the line, so that results in an offside call. So 11:40 into the first period. It's 1-0 North Bay.
The battalion like players with tough to say names sometimes, but
certainly do.
I must say with Tarasevic, it's a little bit close to their prospect in Powassan, Tatarenko, who's come up and played a couple of games too. So one can excuse you, Matt, for thinking it's Tarasenko.
So, yeah, I guess I was combining the names. And
Close enough.
Close enough. 12 minutes into the period, 1-0 North Bay lead. Puck inside the Niagara Ice Dogs zone. Now it's dumped down the ice, touched in the neutral zone, and now DiVincentis will play it behind the net. Goes to the corner to Nelson. Nelson backhands it to the middle of the zone, and now it's down the point. Betts is there. He takes a shot. That's blocked. Picked up by Coe on the half boards on the far side. Another blind pass in the middle of the zone. Sirazati takes it for Niagara. He gets a shot. Stopped on the doorstep. Now turned aside by the battalion. Down in the point. Betts is there to keep it in the zone for the Ice Dogs. Moves up to the half boards. Poked away by Jackson into the corner. Now it's shot around to the near side. Chasing it is Winslow for North Bay. He tries to move it away. He gets hauled down. And the battalion end up with the puck in front of their own net. Nelson there. He flips it up out of the zone. And that clears the area briefly for the battalion. 12:50 gone in the first period. 1-0 North Bay lead. It's back into the North Bay zone. In the far side corner, puck bounces away from there. Sema has it. He gets it up to Outwater, skating down over the blue line, drops it back. No shot coming as it's blocked and cleared. Back out to the neutral zone. Christopoulos fires it in. Played behind the net by Rosenswag. He plays it in the corner. The battalion with a bit of pressure, but they get it knocked away, and it's down the ice, picked up by Ladd behind his own net in the North Bay zone. Leaves it there for Christopoulos, who finds Outwater, skates it to the right side to Ladd. Ladd out to the neutral zone to Wakely. Wakely coming in, makes a move towards the net, but a nice back check at the end of that play by Wysick to get it off of the stick of Wakely and turned aside out of the zone. In the neutral zone, it is Femus with the puck at his own blue line, skates up to the red line, and now he dumps it in. DiVincentis plays it behind his own net for the battalion. To the near side, Christopoulos back behind the net. Ladd knocks it off his skates, and now he's stuck in the corner. The Ice Dogs come in with pressure here. Now they control it behind the net. One Ice Dog player knocked down by Govro. No call coming. The puck comes to the point. Enright shot wide of the net. Down to the point on the far side. Up to the half boards. Right in front of the net. Struthers is there. It's knocked away by Ladd. And now Ladd carries it. Tries to clear. It's blocked. Picked up by Russell. He carries it behind his own net. Leaves it there for Christopoulos. Back to the near side corner to Ladd. Ladd fires it down the left wing side for Van Steensel. Up ahead to Russell, and Russell dumps it in. 14 and a half gone in the first period. 1-0 North Bay lead as it's dumped right back into the Niagara zone. Play behind the net by the Ice Dogs. They get it up to the blue line and they clear it. Govro catches it in the neutral zone for North Bay. He heads back down the right wing side. He dumps it in behind the net. Picked up by Enright, but Govro follows it and he's in the corner. Romani battling for it as well for the Battalion. 15 minutes gone here in the first period, and the Battalion looking to add to their lead. It's down the point. The shot by Bouchard is blocked, and it comes out to the neutral zone. It is Lucan with it, all the way back in his own blue line. Plays it back to Govro in front of the net. Now back up ahead to Lucan, and he looks to clear it. They do clear it. It's a delayed offside here, or I thought it was. The official had his arm up for a second there. I guess not, as the Ice Dogs now holding on. The puck, Femus has it. Takes a shot that's blocked. Goes back to the point. That is Donizio. Plays it to the half boards. Knocked away from that area. Govro has it in the corner. It gets knocked away from him. Out to the middle of the zone. That is Tarasevic coming out of the zone. Plays it to the left side of Bouchard. He tries to center it. And that's blocked and picked up by Donizio behind the net. Tries to find Femus. It's just out of his reach as Nelson knocks away. But it goes off the boards into the zone. Femus. Cross-zone pass to the near side to Leonard. He stops on the boards, plays it behind the net with 16 minutes gone. Played to the far side boards to Coe. Coe gets it out to the neutral zone. Leonard picks it up there for Niagara. Sends it down the near side boards for, I believe that's Cook down there. And he dumps it behind the net for Winslow. The Battalion defender gets it up ahead to Jackson. North Bay leads 1-0 as Jackson leads the charge. Plays it to the left side of Petrov. Petrov in the middle. Tipped shot by Nelson, but doesn't go very far towards the net. And now it's back around on the near side corner. Petrov trying to control it back there. Cato takes it away from him. He sends it to the near side half boards to Sirazati, who gets it out to the neutral zone. Michaud looking up the ice. Gets it over the blue line to Betts. Betts dumps it in with 16:45 gone in the period. It's around on the near side boards to Nelson. Nelson dumps it out down the ice. Chasing it into the zone is Coe. Coming in on the right wing side. Centers it to Jackson across to Petrov. And he gets denied by Rosenzweig, who made the splits and went post to post to make the save. Jackson back in front, and his shot goes wide of the net. 2 golden opportunities for the Battalion, but they keep the score intact at 1-0 with Rosenzweig showing off the athleticism on that play. 17 and a half gone. Wakely in the zone, makes a move around the defender, and he scores! Dolan Wakely goes upstairs and over the shoulder of Rosenzweig, and the Battalion now take a 2-0 lead.
Well, you know what happened last weekend, Matt, was we talked about Kyle McDonald. Kyle McDonald scores. Talk about Dolan Wakely. Dolan Wakely gets an assist and he scores. So I think we need to keep keying in on a couple of players here, and they'll get a couple of goals and assists here. But you know what's insane about that is that it was a bad angle shot. He picked his corner and he beat Rosenzweig. But just on the previous shift, Petrov, the goal scorer, the Russian sniper for the Battalion, gets denied by a 10-bell save by Rosenzweig. So hockey's an interesting game sometimes, and very funny the way things work out.
Dolan Wakely with his 13th of the season, now up to 20 points on the year, and 13 goals by a second-round draft pick in his rookie season has got to be, if not getting close, it's got to be getting close to setting a record if it hasn't already, at least for the North Bay Battalion, right? 18 minutes gone in this first period. It's a 2-0 North Bay lead. And the Battalion are in control again. Russell over the blue line. Takes a shot deflected to Lucan on the near side. And his sharp angle shot is off the side of the net. Picked up on the far side boards by Castle of the Ice Dogs. He clears it to the neutral zone, but it's picked off quickly by McDonald. McDonald coming in over the blue line. He gets tripped up, and now they call offside against North Bay. McDonald thought he should have had a penalty, or he should have drawn a penalty on that play, but the ref's not biting on that one. So with 18:25 gone in the First period, it's still 2-0 North Bay.
Well, the the play there went on for almost 8 minutes before the Wakely goal. So the referees were just kind of like, Matt Sukram needs another water break. We should probably get another stoppage and play here real quick.
Femus into the North Bay zone. It's knocked away from his stick. North Bay looking to get it out. It gets played into the near side corner. That's Luke in there. Chips it along the boards to the near side. Picked up by Van Steensel. Van Steensel tries to play it the middle. That gets blocked. Now Gover will try for North Bay. On the far side, he gets it off the boards and up to the stick of Russell. Russell coming in the zone. He gets knocked away from the puck. No call there. And now it's going the other way with the Ice Dogs coming down the ice. On the left wing side, sharp angle shot. That gets blocked. Now it's off the side of the net into the far side corner. Castle for the Ice Dogs battling McDonald of the Battalion. Gets knocked away from that area, and Jackson gets it out to the neutral zone. Jackson skating down the left wing side. Knocked away from him at the blue line. Picked up in the neutral zone by Petrov. He comes in on the left wing side. Now he drives towards the net. Petrov, he'll go behind the net. Now plays it off the boards to Coe. Coe now takes it down the left side. Plays it to the point to Nelson. Nelson skates the middle. Shot! Glove save made by Rosenzweig. And he holds on to it for stoppage and play. 31 seconds remaining in the period. 2-0 North Bay lead.
You know, you're going to be seeing that save on Petrov in the saves of the week and probably the saves of the month for a while, but what a great save. I really have to highlight that again. What a great split save for Rosenzweig, just to be able to keep the game at 1-0 at the time before Wakely was able to get the second goal for the troops.
Face-off won by the Ice Dogs in their own zone, but on a clearing attempt, it goes off the stick of Petrov and over the glass and out of play, so they will reset with 23 seconds remaining in the first period. North Bay have jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Christopoulos and Wakely on the goals, and Christopoulos picks up an assist on the Wakely goal, so he's got a 2-point night. Now the Battalion off the draw. They center it. Jackson scores! Welcome back to the lineup, Kyle. It's 3-0 North Bay.
What a great return, and that was going to be something to watch for sure was Kyle Jackson. How is he going to adjust? How is he going to look? Speed-wise, is it going to be there? And you know what? What a great shot. The shot still plays fantastic for Kyle Jackson, and what a great goal for Mr. Jackson in his return to the lineup, who make that 16 goals on the season for Kyle Jackson, who was a big part of the offensive dynamo that was the Battalion throughout November. And then when he got injured, that's kind of when the storm hit for the troops. So good to see Kyle Jackson here back in action.
Kyle Jackson's first goal since December 3rd at Hamilton. And Jackson actually was on a 3-game goal-scoring streak. So technically, he's got goals now in his last 4 games played. He's actually got 5 goals in his last 4 games played. I mean, he was on fire before the injury.
Well, in that game against Hamilton was the injury game, so scoring in the limited ice time that he had in that game before hurting his knee.
He had 2 goals and 4 points in the November 26th game against Kingston, a goal and an assist in the November 27th game at Ottawa, and a goal and an assist in the December 3rd game against Hamilton. And then that was the last time we saw Kyle Jackson until tonight. A goal off the draw right near the end of the period. That brings us right to the end of the period. And it's Christopoulos, Wakely, and a returning Kyle Jackson that give the Battalion a jump start here. 3-0 lead for the North Bay Battalion after 20 minutes.
What a great period for the Battalion, a fast period as well. It looks weird when you look at the shot total being 11-8 in favor of the Ice Dogs, but the Battalion did a good job of playing, controlling the puck in that play, even though it doesn't feel like it because of the shot difference. But there was never a moment where the Ice Dogs really had sustained pressure, but in order to get through more of that and more, we'll turn things over to Bob Coles and Derek Lindemann here for the second intermission. Gentlemen?
Well, we'll do the first intermission first, Courtney. Sorry. We'll get to the second later. Hey. Courtney's done for the night.
I quit.
Let's talk Battalion hockey. 3-0. Action Jackson, I guess. You got the third one after North Bay. Really, Dom DiVincentis, I thought, Derek, got off to a good start for the Battalion. He was ready to go. Niagara did have 11 shots, North Bay 8. But Niagara didn't score early, and that really affected the battalion. They got their sea legs, and we'll get Derek's comments in a moment. Just update some scores. Owen Sound and Erie have played 2 periods, 3-2 for Erie. Ottawa and Peterborough 1-0 for the Petes. And just getting underway, Saginaw and Windsor. As for this one, the shots were 11-8 Niagara. 0 for 2 on the power play for the Ice Dogs. They won 11 of the 21 faceoffs. The goals, Paul Christopoulos third from Cam Govro and Dallin Wakely at 8:30. And what a goal by Wakely. A goal scorer's goal, his 13th of the year from Christopoulos. His second point, and Grayson Ladd at 17:29. And then Kyle Jackson, first game back, 16th of the year from Avery Winslow, and his running mate Brandon Coe at 19:42. 3-0 after one. Derek, what are your comments after the first period?
Really pleased with the effort put out by this North Bay Battalion team tonight. This was a team that came off of a very impressive weekend, taking 3 out of 3 against 2 good teams. The Sioux Greyhounds, 2 victories against them, and then defeating the Kingston Frontenacs Sunday afternoon, completing a 3 games in 4 nights as they picked up all 3 victories. This kicking off another 3-4 as tonight they're playing the Niagara Ice Dogs. Tomorrow they're on the road in Mississauga to take on the Steelheads before a return affair here Sunday afternoon as the Sudbury Wolves travel down Highway 17 to take on the Battalion. But talking about tonight's game, that first half of that first period, they got into a little bit of penalty trouble, giving up 2 penalties. And Niagara tested them really early, firing a lot of shots toward Dom DeVincentis. He made 9 saves there in the first 10 minutes and just kept them in the game early, made a couple of key saves, and then we see Paul Christopoulos scoring at the 8:30 mark. Just a low hard shot that went in off of a footed Niagara player, so a good bounce going North Bay's way, and it's been all North Bay ever since that halfway mark. We see them add 2 more goals on and really picking up the tempo of tonight's game.
Yeah, we always say about goaltending, it's not if you make saves, it's when you make them. I thought Dom DeVincentis in the first half of that first period, he was good. The puck was in his zone a lot of the time. Not a lot of sustained pressure, as the guy said. But, you give up one then, and then suddenly it affects the whole game, gives Niagara a lot of confidence. And I think Rosenzweig would like to have that first North Bay goal back. Christopoulos has somehow found a way into the net. Wakely's goal was a beauty, and, of course, Jackson made it 3-0. But Niagara had their chances in the first few minutes but couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, just a couple unfortunate events for the Niagara Ice Dogs early. I remember on the first power play, the player in front, sorry, I don't remember the name, but the puck just rolled out of his reach as he had the wide open cage in behind Dom DeVincentis. And then a bounce off a Niagara foot makes the score 1-0 North Bay. A couple really beautiful goals, but really the key was the play of Dom DeVincentis to open up this period.
And how about Dallin Wakely's goal?
Oh, you couldn't pick any more. There was no room for that other than probably what the puck had. And you know what? Only the best players can put it there, and he definitely buried that, making it look so easy.
Not a first-round pick, folks. Second-rounder. So just remember that in a couple of years. Well, of course, the Frontline broadcast, the podcast, this week's guest was Battalion head coach Ryan Houlihan. Let's hear a portion of that right now.
It's another episode of your favorite podcast. Yes, that one this time, the Frontline Podcast. I'm Tom Parisi with Courtney Kenny. Our special guest, you may have seen him before in a podcast. Check back with an episode with Adam Dennis. Isaiah is joining us as well today. He's going to check in, see how we do things. And for his 4th tour of duty, but 800th with Courtney, it's head coach of your North Bay Battalion, Ryan Houlihan. Uli, it's good to have you back. Lately, you've been dressing what seems like all of a sudden all the rookies. You're happy to have some of the normal top line players back?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for having me here, guys. It's always a pleasure coming on. And I know everyone says it when they come on, but I'll start it off with just thanking you once again for doing an outstanding job. Believe it or not, you guys are somebody I listen to on my ways into work most days. So you kill some time for me.
That's our best asset. It's on my resume. time killer, professional.
But yeah, getting to that, I think it's been different, right? It's a unique year in that sense. We knew it was going to be that way, and certainly kind of going through, whether the injury bug, the COVID bug, everything in between. I think it's been good. I think it's been good for our group. I think it's been really good for like you said, some of our younger guys getting in the lineup and playing some really good hockey and producing right now. And now, we're sneaking some veterans back in healthy and starting to get over, kind of some of these major injuries.
I, of course, have interviewed you pretty much after every game, so there's going to be a lot of overlap in my questions here, of course, that you've already heard. But when it comes to the injuries and all that stuff, you mentioned how the players have really kind of had this opportunity to take it and run with it and all that stuff. And we've seen it recently with Bouchard being called up and scoring his first, Romani scoring his first, Seema scored his first, Oatwaters got his second as well. So just, your thoughts on those guys that maybe were playing fourth line minutes, or in Bouchard's case, wasn't even on the team before this stuff happened.
Well, I just think they're starting to take hold of an opportunity and really kind of running with it. We always say it's in every sport, it's in life in general, but when you do have confidence to go succeed at what you want to do, that can really boost things up, and we call it the big boys, so to speak, are always been there since day one in terms of our offense. Now all of a sudden you get those extra goals from those other guys now, and now you're starting to see us kind of putting in 5 goals a game all of a sudden again, which is kind of nice to getting back to that. But yeah, just those guys have really stuck to it. They're trusting in the process and the plan, and you always see with young guys that they start to relish when they get big minutes, when they get some confidence underneath their belt.
We always ask players, how do they know when they've kind of figured it out? They're like aha moment. How do you know?
How do I know when I've figured it out, or
when they figured it out? How do you know when they've hit their stride?
It's tricky. Well, first and foremost, just coaching junior hockey, they're not going to hit their stride for many, many years. I think that's the continuous improvement of players. You just kind of see what the older guys are doing this year in terms of, how far Brandon Coe's come, how far Mitch Russell has come. Those are the sort of the older guys that have been in North Bay for a long time. Just look at the evolution of junior hockey. So I think you're just kind of seeing snippets of an Outwater, a Seema, a Romani, those 16-year-old mainstay guys in the lineup. The growth of them is it's not even tapped in yet, So I think there's still a ways to go, but certainly I'm going to talk as a bit of a coach right now, and coaches want their players to be defensively sound first. And, I think that's always the biggest, sort of transition that young players need to make coming into our league. And those guys have done a much better job with it. And because they're doing it now is, they end up having the puck in the offensive zone more, and then their natural skill can take over. So I hope I answered that the best I could. It's a loaded question only because, again, the evolution of junior hockey.
I wanted to ask a bit of an update kind of question. This is actually one I don't think I've ever asked you in the millions of post-game interviews. But now that we've gotten you back on the podcast at this point where the season's at its halfway point, last time we talked, you were just coming into camp after seeing these guys that, you'd heard so much about and done so many Zoom interviews with over the canceled season. What have you liked out of this group to this point? And now that you've seen them on the ice, what has really stood out for you?
This has been such a fun group to work with, and really what we see is a group of guys that absolutely love being together. I've actually probably never been around a group that just the whole collective group of them just love being at the rink. Practice could be over and, all of a sudden there's a couple hours later, they're still hanging around, they're still doing their stuff, and guys are getting to the rink early. I think we've just created a real good buzz and atmosphere that everybody looks forward to coming to the rink. And, I think it stems with obviously right from the top of the leadership, but Adam's done a great job of bringing in guys that are hungry to get better and just good, charismatic, personalities. There's a good mixture of guys in that room, from young to old too. It's really a collective group that everybody gets along really, really well. And it's been a joy for us to work with them and come to the rink and have fun every day. And then, you see the hard work stemming from that. So that's been the biggest thing for us. We talk about literally every day is how lucky we are to be able to work with this group.
How easy was it to integrate Kyle McDonald and Grayson Ladd and Tarasevich into the whole program? How seamless was that?
Pretty seamless, and again, I give credit to our room, to open up to those guys. I think it did help that all three of them knew some people, in our room. Tarasevich is really good friends with Petrov. That stems back years and years. So, that's going to help him. And then Grayson and Kyle, just being older players in the league, knew of some of our veteran players. And even a little sneaky tidbit, I believe Kyle McDonald and Kyle Jackson, even when they're 13 or 14 years old, lived together and played us. Yeah. Right. And that's something that I didn't know until we brought Kyle in. So that helped, and then obviously there were guys that, we were kind of targeting because of what they can do. And so in terms of our system and structure, we knew that they were going to fit pretty quickly.
How much of a say in trade deadline, what I need, how much of that how much input do you have in the whole process?
Well, again, the credit goes to Adam for asking, not just myself, but our whole entire staff. He really does listen and lets us kind of talk together as a staff, and that's every day. It's literally every day. We have our players on our big whiteboard in our room, and it's our favorite thing to stare at and just talk about our guys and where we are and where we're headed, and it's just continuous. It's always so. I think it's pretty collective. Obviously, Adam does a tremendous job of fielding the calls and doing what he does best. It's an outstanding job.
That was Ryan Houlihan earlier this week on the Frontline podcast. And great to hear Ryan sort of in a more, we do him in the weekly scrum, or we do him, after a game, win or lose, and it's always, a little more brevity involved. But in the podcast sense, you get more description, more depth in his answers, and great job by Courtney and Tom Parise in the questions. And wherever you get your podcasts, you can check into the Frontline podcast, and they do a great job. And Houlihan should be quite happy right now with his team up 3-0 after one. Of course, it's a busy weekend of hockey here at the Gardens. You got the Nipissing Lakers, 4 games, I think, this weekend. 2 men's, 2 women's. And, of course, the Battalion on Sunday will host Sudbury. So, Derek, I know you do some work with the Lakers, so fill us all in. They're finally getting back into action.
Yeah, I think Matt and I are going to be staying the next weekend here, as both him and I do the work for the Lakers broadcast also. Tomorrow evening, the ladies will kick things off with a 5 o'clock start here against the Queens Gales before the men conclude Friday evening with a 7:30 start against RMC before return action. All 4 teams will be back in action Saturday. Ladies kick it off with a 2 o'clock start against Queens again, and the men will conclude Saturday evening festivities with a 5:30 start here against the RMC again. Just exciting hockey. Ladies are pushing for top spot in the OUA conference, and the men are fighting for a playoff spot. It's always exciting hockey. And again, if you can't be here, you can watch it on OUA TV before Sunday. The Battalion are back in action here, 2 o'clock start against the Sudbury Wolves.
Of course, tomorrow night, the North Bay Battalion will be in Mississauga to play the Steelheads. They're 9 points back, and I think Mississauga's got 2 games in hand. So it's a big weekend for the North Bay Battalion, 3 games in 4. They're up 3-0, by the way, so far. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, Canada's women in the quarterfinals at the Olympics against Sweden. And tomorrow night at 11, it's Canada, USA, with the really first place in the group. Whoever wins that game won't have to play in the qualification round, goes right to the quarterfinals. So it's a big game there. So lots of great hockey going on, and including here tonight at the Gardens with the Battalion up 3-0. And here's Courtney and Matt for the second period.
All right, thank you very much, Bob and Derek, for taking us through the first intermission. I got it right that time, Bob. Just want to highlight in the NOJHL, the Powassan Voodoos, the affiliate team for the Battalion, are currently up 1-0 midway through the first period against the Sudbury Cubs. And congratulations to Chris Dawson on picking up his 300th win as a general manager last weekend against the Blind River Beavers. What a great accomplishment for Chris Dawson. And the team itself is 2 wins away from 250 in their franchise history. So really putting Powassan hockey on the map, and good for the Voodoos. I also have to mention that we did some homework during the first intermission. Matt had made a comment about how Wakely must be coming up to a goal-scoring record for a second-round pick. He is first with 18. Second is Mike Baird with 5. That is the goal differential for second-round picks for the Battalion in the history. And I also made a mistake in the first saying Wakely was a 29th overall pick. He was a 30th overall pick. So Dalton Wakely really turning heads for the Battalion. And we'll bring Matt Sukram back into the booth.
That's okay. I made a mistake saying Wakely's got to be close, right?
Yeah.
He is light years ahead. By the way, go check out the new Buzz Lightyear trailer.
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks
doesn't
so
it?
awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Have you seen Encanto? Watched that with my kids the other day.
No, I
Loved
haven't.
it.
It was
It's
good.
up for an Oscar. It should probably win for animated musical of the year.
Well, we'll have to check it out for sure.
Check out our new podcast, Talking Movies. With
You know what? You may have an idea here, Matt, and I think we might have to market it. But
oh boy,
I'm a big Pixar fan. I really like Toy Story. It's one of my first movie memories is going to see Toy Story in theaters. I was a little skeptical on Lightyear, but these 2 trailers have really opened my eyes. I'm really excited. But anyways, enough about Lightyear. Here's the second period.
Well,
with Matt.
let's see how much further the Battalion can get ahead of the Ice Dogs in this period, or if the Ice Dogs can close the gap here. Not insurmountable, but a 3-0 deficit going into the second period here. Just 15 seconds in, and there's a shot on net. And it's Steven Chintis who makes the save. And so we'll restart in the near side circle in the North Bay zone. And it's a face-off won by the Ice Dogs. Cato from the line flips it around to the far side boards to Betts. He tries to backhand it in the corner. That's denied by Nelson, who gets it out to the neutral zone. Played it up the middle, bouncing puck off some skates. Now it's up ahead to Coe, going in on the goal line. Now he cuts back to the corner, down the half boards, across to the far side to Winslow. Winslow fires it, blocker save made by Rosenswag. Goes to the point, Winslow tries to play back to the corner. Coe has it. Now it's down the point, trying to control the puck. Feeds it right up ahead. Petrov in alone, plays it back to Jackson. He can't get the shot off. And now it's picked up by Michaud, who gets it out of the zone for the Ice Dogs. Michaud down into the Battalion zone, and the Ice Dogs forward is now in the near side corner. The Battalion trying to pressure him off the puck. It comes down to the point, a couple of stick checks made, and the puck comes loose to the neutral zone. It's Petrov going the other way for the Battalion, tries to move to the net. Knocked off his stick, and Cam Peters has it for the Ice Dogs. Passes across the zone to Donizio, and he flips it up to the North Bay blue line. Castle brings it in on side. And now he's pressured on the half boards. Coming in late in the play is Russell. He gets it out of the zone. Russell takes a stick up high. That's a delayed call coming up against the Ice Dogs. And now as the Ice Dogs touch the puck, they are going to get drawn for a high stick. So we're about a minute 34 in. And now North Bay are going on their first power play of the game. Up by 3 and now up by a man.
The Battalion power play percentage this season is 24.8%, which is good for 6th overall in the league. The penalty killing for the Ice Dogs is abysmal, 71.6%, last in the league, which is 20th overall. So we'll see if the Battalion, who have a top 10 power play, top 5 on the weekend, can score opportunistic goals here against the worst penalty kill in the league.
But off a shot off the draw, it's blocked by the Ice Dogs and sent all the way into the North Bay zone. Minute 45 gone in the second period. 3-0 North Bay lead as they bring it back down the ice. Coe enters the zone, goes to the middle, cuts around the defense. On the backhand, he scores. Open the curtain and give the people what they want. The Coe Show starts now.
Oh, it's good to hear that call again, the Coe Show. It was almost too easy for Brandon Coe to score that goal. He just walked right into the Ice Dog zone, and he was able to pot it. That's got to be, he goes in on 30, I believe, on the season. Let's see here. Brandon Coe with 28 on the season. So, yes, number 30, which he scored in the COVID-shortened year. Getting more and more attainable. So it looks like Brandon Coe is going to blast past his goal-scoring career high. So good for Brandon Coe, and it doesn't get much easier than that.
Got around the defense, just walked right past them, and then lifted it over. And my goodness, you're right, Courtney. It doesn't get much easier than that. Brandon Coe, as you said, with his 28th of the season, he picked up an assist on the Kyle Jackson goal. So that's 2 points on the night for him, setting a career high. Well, any point he gets from this point on is going to be a career high, as he's now up to 73 and now at 189 career points.
And sorry, check that. In the COVID-shortened season, he had 25 goals, not 30. I remember he talked about it at the time that his goal was to at least get to 30. But so, yeah, everything from this point forward, assist-wise, goal-wise, and point-wise, career high for Brandon Coe.
Tarasevic in the zone, pass across the middle, that's blocked, and the Ice Dogs look to get it out of the zone. 2.5 into the second period, North Bay up 4-0. And it's the Ice Dogs in control now. Peters with a shot from the slot. That's over the crossbar. And it comes out of the zone. Down the ice, Romani. A delayed offside against him here. He touches the puck, and so the delayed offside comes to be a full offside, and will reset just behind the Niagara blue line at center ice. 2:49 gone in the second period. 4-0 North Bay lead, yet they still trail 12-11 in the shot category.
I just want to re-highlight Cam Peters, who was traded from the battalion for Christian Stevens, and I believe a couple of picks as well for the battalion. I just was looking for a bit of a change of scenery. It hasn't really worked out the way I think team and player have hoped in Niagara, but I'd love to see Cam Peters, really put together a strong season eventually.
Puck is flipped up over the boards and out of play. And so we've got another stoppage here. And yeah, you look at the Niagara Ice Dogs roster. I mean, they did move quite a few players this year. They also cut several players. There was
a lot at the beginning.
There was one, it was I believe a Saturday morning before the Ice Dogs were coming into North Bay, and they cut about 4 guys on one press release. There were 4 names on there that they just decided to get rid of.
I remember that.
So a lot of personnel change for this Ice Dogs team this year. And they are just 10-24, 2-1 coming into this one. They trail 4-0 right now, 3.5 into the second period to the North Bay Battalion. Puck is inside the North Bay zone. It's on the near side boards, picked up there by McDonald of the North Bay Battalion. He clears it to the neutral zone to Russell. Down the left wing side, over the blue line, going to the middle. Then the puck is knocked away from him, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone. Winslow across to Nelson in the middle of his own end. Cuts to the left side, over the blue line, up to the red line, and dumps it in past the Niagara blue line. Going in behind the net, throws a hit, and the puck goes to the far side boards. Back out to the neutral zone, sent down the ice, and that will be icing called against the Ice Dogs. 4:08 gone in the second period. 4-0 North Bay lead.
Another interesting thread to pull on this game as well. Of course, it's their rookie seasons, but really it's their rookie season +1 at this point. With Ty Nelson, Panofimas, who went 1-2 overall in the 2020 OHL priority selection. Both are having solid years for their teams, with arguably Ty Nelson having a fantastic year as a defenseman and a rookie.
Third in rookie scoring, as we alluded to earlier. Panofimas with 26 points on the year. I'd say that's a respectable season, considering everything these players have had to go through this year. And could, look at the team he is on too. That's always a factor. Playing to the neutral zone. The battalion trying to fire it forward. That gets blocked. Picked up by Aiden Castle of the Ice Dogs. He finds Enright. He skates up to the blue line and dumps it in. 4:45 gone in the second period as the battalion look to get it out of the zone. It's in the near side corner. Chipped around behind the net. Now to the far side boards. Played up to the blue line as Jackson carries it out for North Bay. He finds Coe coming down the right wing side. Coe cross zone pass to Petrov. Petrov skating in, going in behind the net. And now he's knocked off the puck. There are 4 Ice Dogs players in behind the net, so they're able to get the puck down the ice. It's Castle again, up to the blue line. He dumps it down. Now it's Govro picking it up for North Bay behind the net. He finds Sema, who chips it out. Picked up quickly in the neutral zone by the Ice Dogs. Dionizio tries to play it out, get blocked at the line. Outwater coming in, and they're going to call offside, saying that the Ice Dogs player, I believe Dionizio, they said that he did clear the zone. And so, 5.5 gone in period number 2. It's 4-0 North Bay lead, and they just got called offside.
And a huge thank you to our period sponsor, Northern Wood Customs. Find them on Facebook. And if you are interested in having them make something for you or something for a wedding, perhaps, make sure you mention that you heard this ad on the Frontline Game Day broadcast for 10% off.
Playback underway as the Battalion had control of the puck in the offensive zone. Govro shot from the blue line right through the traffic, but gloved by Rosenzweig for a stoppage in play. You know, Govro coming into this year probably wasn't even expected to make the team, but that training camp, they signed him, and he's been with the team ever since.
Yeah, they really liked him. You know, he went after Brandon Coe, and then Liam Arnsby went after him after he went after Coe. And then immediately after that, the next day, he went after Alex Christopoulos and dropped the gloves with him. So they really liked what Cam Govro brought to the table, and he was a really fun interview on the Frontline podcast, talking about how he was fighting for a spot from day one.
Literally and physically.
Yes.
Well, if I could take somebody out, I might get a spot on the team. Right?
Well, he's going after the wrong position players.
That's true.
But hey, the heart's in the right place.
We're 6:20 into the second period, and it is a 4-0 lead for the North Bay Battalion, who have just now tied the Ice Dogs in shots with 12 apiece for either team. Shot down the ice, it's going to be icing called against the North Bay Battalion. And the last 5 minutes or so have really felt like it's the beginning of a game, because it feels like it's a feeling out process, whereas North Bay are just basically saying to Niagara, show us something.
Yeah, absolutely. They want, Ice Dogs to kind of push back a little bit. And if the Ice Dogs want to crawl back into this, now is the time when North Bay's kind of taking their foot off the gas a little bit. But as you mentioned, nothing's really happened. It's a bit of a feeling out process, and we'll see how long this continues.
6:45 gone. Puck is dumped into the Niagara zone. Down the ice, it comes to the point. It's Nelson with a shot from the point. A huge blast that just goes wide of the net. Picked up in the neutral zone by Bouchard. He stripped to the puck at the blue line, but the Ice Dogs go offside. And another stoppage in play. 6:58 gone in the second period. It's a 4-0 North Bay lead. When the Battalion score the first goal of the game as they have today, they are 13-5-1, and the coaches will always say how important it is to jump out to a lead, especially here in these home games when you're trying to make up some ground in the standings and trying to solidify yourself away from the teams that are near the bottom of the conference. Playback underway inside the Ice Dog zone. It goes to the far side boards. Now it comes out of the zone. It's Nelson in the middle. He fires it down into the Niagara end. It's picked up by Cato. Plays it to Peters on the near side boards. He battles Russell at the blue line. The former teammates continue to engage there. Now it's Peters coming away from that. He goes down the ice, over the blue line, tries to pass across the zone. That gets to nobody on the Ice Dogs, and it's sent in the corner. Now the Ice Dogs converge on the puck, as battling for it is Femus. Goes to the point. Betts is there. To the middle and right. To the right side. Peters shot. Did it get through? No, it went off a stick way up high and then played off the glass along the end boards. And now it comes out of the zone on the Battalion on the clear. McDonald going over the line. He gets pushed down by Enright. And so the North Bay Battalion are going to get another power play here. Almost 8 minutes into this one. It's interference. The call, and the Battalion, who are 1 for 1 on the power play, now have an opportunity here, up 4-0. 7:58 into the second period.
And of course, this power play is proudly supported by the Noah Strong campaign. We will have an update on them shortly. They have a couple of exciting things in the works, and once we know, we'll pass it along your way. And you have to think it's not going to be as easy this time for Brandon Coe.
Well, I mean, if you're head coach Billy Burke, you certainly hope not.
Yeah. Fair point. fair point.
Niagara off the draw, clears it down the ice, and DiVincentis will play it behind his own net for the Battalion. 10 seconds knocked off the clock. That's why winning those defensive zone draws is so important. I mean, if you can knock 10 seconds off right away, and now the Battalion go offside, 20 seconds knocked off the clock in the power play. So
that was probably the most egregious offensive offside I've ever seen since that Matt Duchesne offside call a few years ago that cost the Nashville Predators a goal when he was still with the Colorado Avalanche. My goodness, that was, although that one wasn't called offside. That one thankfully was.
Face off just behind the Niagara blue line. It's won by the Battalion. Nelson has it in the neutral zone. Plays it up ahead to Coe. Coming down the right wing side. On the boards. He tries to play at the line. That gets blocked. And now the IceDogs have it 2-on-1 the other way. Down the right wing side. The shot off the blocker and wide of the net. Now Coe picks it up. And the Battalion will counterattack. It's Jackson over the line to Russell to the left side. Back in front of the net. They can't find someone to knock the puck off of as it goes into the near side corner, picked up by the IceDogs and cleared down the ice. 1:05 remaining on the North Bay power play. Coe, stretch pass up ahead to McDonald, coming in behind the defense. The shot, save made off the pads of Rosenzweig. Winslow picks it up at the line. He goes to the goal line, sends it back to the point to Ladd, to the half boards to McDonald. McDonald plays it to the goal line to Van Steensel. Van Steensel in the middle, Wakely, and he fans on the shot, but then Winslow picks it up and puts it towards the net. And then it's stopped by Rosenzweig.
One thing head coach Ryan Houlihan has said during the podcast this past week on the Frontline podcast, mentioned that once they got kind of a full lineup again, that you would see a little bit more of that second power play unit. And coming out with, at the time, just under a minute left is the most we've seen, or time on the clock still of the power play for this power play unit in a long time, where usually we see them coming out in the last 30 seconds to 15 seconds, Matt. So good to see the depth back with Kyle Jackson back on the ice. And next key piece back, Liam Arnsby hopefully soon.
30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Enright. The Battalion up by a man. They're up 4-0 with 9.5 gone in this second period. Van Steensel with the puck on the half boards. Now Winslow down to the point to Ladd. Across to the right side, McDonald walking in. Shot, it's off escape, picked up off the end boards. North Bay looking for control. Big collision in the boards. A puck to the net, and it's stopped by Rosenzweig. Down to the point, Ladd has it. To the left side, Winslow. Back to the point, Ladd takes a shot, gloved by Rosenzweig, and held onto it for a stoppage and play. Now the question is, does Houlihan stay with that secondary power play unit? Actually, there's only 2 seconds left, so sorry, I answered my own question.
It's funny, when you look at it, that now it's like, oh yeah, Tarasevic, Romani, Bouchard, these guys aren't that really usually known to be on the power play, but then when you realize, oh yes, the IceDogs are about to get back to even strength here in 2 seconds, so it makes a little bit more sense when the pieces all fit.
And the IceDogs win the draw, and they send it all the way down the ice, effectively ending the North Bay power play. But Bouchard comes right back, up to the line, dumps it in. It's Rosenzweig playing it behind his own net to the far side boards. Hard collision on the far side, but the IceDogs get out of the zone. 2-on-1 the other way, down the right side, pass to the middle, they score. The goal coming from Copeland. And the IceDogs are on the board. It's 4-1.
Bit of an ill-advised pinch maybe for Lucan on that goal. It's his first game back from injury as well. He had missed the last couple, but yeah, it was his pinch that led to the 2-on-1. Christopoulos not really going down to play the pass though. However, it just kind of, he looked like he faked to do it, but then he stayed on his feet. But still, Lucan really kind of leaving his defense partner out to dry, albeit a great hit, though, on his end.
I was going to suggest, when you're talking about power play units and which lines you're going with, I was going to suggest Ryan Houlihan's job might be a little bit easier tonight, and he can roll 4 lines a little more comfortably, but you also have to remember that this IceDog team isn't just going to lay down, and so maybe you give those third and fourth lines a little more ice time, but then the counter to that is, what if you open the door for the IceDogs? And that's what the Battalion not have completely done here, but their lead cut down to 3 with 11 minutes gone in the second period. It's 4-1. And right after that goal, Ryan O'Halloran threw out the first line. And they're out there right now. Cole, Petrov, and Jackson. Puck is in the middle of the zone, or middle of the ice, I should say. Picked up there by Betts, and he dumps it back into the North Bay end. Loose puck in the corner, picked up by the Ice Dogs. They try to center it. That got blocked. Bouncing around in the corner, comes to the front of the net. Another block. Back down to the half boards. Now into the corner again. Rough battle going on there. Looking for a centering pass. That gets blocked. Out to the far side. Now down to the point. Across the left side, it's Betts at the point. The shot stopped. Picked up behind the net. Rebound in front. Denied by DiVincentis. A third shot comes in. That's stopped by Petrov in front. And now Petrov finds the loose puck. And he calms things down. Sends it back to Ladd. Ladd dumps it down the ice. And that will allow that first line for the Battalion to get some fresh legs out there. 12 minutes gone in the second period. 4-1 North Bay lead. Wakely coming in the zone. Drops it back to Sema, whose shot is wide. Rebound, look, as they put it in front of the net. Nobody can get a shot off. Puck to the half boards. To the far side. It's picked up by Betts. He gets out of the Niagara zone. Down the ice. Cuts to the middle. Drops the pass back. And now it's taken away by Wakely of the Battalion. He gets it up to Sema. Sema coming down the left wing side. Up to the blue line and dumps it down the ice. Rosenzweig playing it behind his net. The Niagara goaltender flips it up to the blue line and it jumps over Christopoulos' stick and clears the zone. An awkward hit on the far side boards right in front of the Niagara bench. Christopoulos colliding with Rubrick. But both players get up. They appear to be okay. And with 13 minutes gone in the second period, the Battalion continue to lead 4-1. As the Battalion dump it down the ice. It's in the Ice Dog zone. Up to the blue line. Waddick tries to dump it down. Lukin blocks it. He plays it back up ahead. That gets blocked. Rubrick trying to come in over the blue line. He's got it at the near side boards. Dumped into the corner. Christopoulos is there for North Bay. He tries to play it down the right wing side. It's Russell who finds it for North Bay. Goes over the blue line to the left wing side. Van Cecil back in front, and McDonald cannot bury it. He was all alone as they had Rosenzweig out of position, but he could not get a piece of the puck. And back behind the net, now in front and turned aside. That time it was the defense of the Ice Dogs getting rid of that chance. 13:45 gone. Copeland steals it at the blue line, centers it, and a great defensive play by Lukin to block a pass across the middle. He gets it up to McDonald. Across the left side, Van Cecil comes in, and it's a blocker save made again by Rosenzweig. Van Cecil picks it up, tries to play it to the slot. That's denied again. Out of the zone, the Ice Dogs come. Down the right wing side, into the corner. Govro has it for North Bay. He's trying to clear it. Blocked on the near side boards. It comes to the point to Enright. Plays it back up the half boards to Agostinelli. Across to the right side. That shot is blocked. Getting back his own rebound is Betts. Back to left side, Enright. Shot on net wide. Picked up by McDonald off the end boards for the Battalion. He gets it out to the neutral zone and he collides with the official. The puck is knocked off the stick of Romani into the bench, and we'll finally have the play blown down. And we have reached our quote-unquote mid-period break. Derek, what do you got?
Well, as the physicality is picked up here in this second period of play, both teams exchanged goals in the first 10 minutes of play as Brandon Coe, with his 28th of the season for the North Bay Battalion on their power play, before Juan Copeland, his 4th of the season, has put the Niagara Ice Dogs on the board. And that's where we stand with 5:22 remaining in this second period of play. North Bay Battalion continue to lead 4-1 over the Niagara Ice Dogs. Coming up in the second intermission, I'll be joined by Bob Coles as we take a look at the 3 other games going on in the OHL on this Thursday night. And we'll recap this second period of play. And we'll also have a Dostar video production of U16 North Bay Trapper defenseman Aiden Thompson, currently having 8 points on the season, having a great campaign for the North Bay Trappers. Now for the final 5 minutes of play, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny.
Thank you very much, Derek. Having to sit tight for almost 5 minutes since the midpoint of that period where Matt just basically had to talk plus a goal. But the quote-unquote midpoint, I love it because it's never really the midpoint. Also, a big happy birthday to Nikita Tarasevich, not Tarasenko, Tarasevich, who's turning 19 for the North Bay Battalion.
Now, he's a guy that's going to be expected to pick up a lot of the offense. Ko in the zone, over to Petrov, one-timer, they score! The top line combines for another goal. All three forwards have registered goals tonight. Petrov joins the company with his 27th goal of the season, 63 points on the year, and the Battalion lead at 5-1.
Speaking of rookies, we don't usually count him as one considering he is an import, and I don't think he meets the requirements of rookies in the league. Matvei Petrov's having a pretty solid first year here in the OHL in what may prove to be his only season in the Gateway City, as the Edmonton Oilers really like what they've seen him so far, signing him to an entry-level deal back in December.
Well, you talked about the Battalion history of second-round draft picks and the point production. I mean, you could go back and look at the Battalion history of import draft picks in their first year in their production. I believe that Petrov has cemented himself as probably the best first-year import player that the Battalion have ever had since moving to North Bay.
Yeah, Vincent Praplin would be a strong second, and Alex Henriksen as well, but other than those guys, I can't think. Henriksen never had over 30 points.
Thielander had... There's another breakaway for Petrov coming in on the backhand, and he's denied for Rosenzweig. I was going to say, Thielander had, I believe, a 60-point season in his second year. We'll have to look that up. So technically, this would have been Petrov's second season, but as we said, first year in the OHL. North Bay back on the attack. Cal Jackson's shot is blocked, and it's denied by Rosenzweig. Yes, all three members of that top line have now scored a goal. Jackson at 19:42 of the first period. Brandon Ko 2 minutes into the second period. And now Matvei Petrov 14:44 in the second period. Reunited, and it feels so good as the Battalion lead at 5-1. 16:15 gone in the second period. Tarasevich down to the point to Govro, who turns it over, but then a quick stick check gets it right back. Briefly kept it in the zone. Now Niagara breaks out of the zone with it, but it's flipped up over the boards and out of play. 16:26 gone. 5-1 North Bay lead on just 19 shots.
So as you mentioned, Adam Thielander, he had 42 points. Vincent Praplin had 53 in his lone season here in the Gateway City. Matvei Petrov over 60. So yes, definitely cementing himself as probably the best import pick to come through North Bay as of this point, and it'll be hard-pressed to top that.
And again, I don't think it's a coincidence. You know, you talked about the Battalion and the history of their second-round draft picks in North Bay. You know, the import picks, I mean, Adam Dennis, since taking over the GM role, has really done a tremendous job in finding some well-placed talent for this team.
Not only that, but convincing them to come to North Bay as well.
Yeah, that's an area that often gets overlooked for OHL teams. There's a big selling job, especially for import players. 17 minutes off the clock in the second period. North Bay lead 5-1 over the IceDogs. It's in the neutral zone. Christopoulos has it for North Bay. Drops it back to his own blue line for Lukin. Played up the middle for Russell. To the left side, Sema going into the corner. Now behind the net. Circling around on the near side. Plays it to the boards to Christopoulos. He checks in the near side corner. Then lost control of the puck. And it's taken away by Copeland, the lone goal scorer tonight for the Niagara Ice Dogs. He gets it out of the zone. The Battalion fire it right back into the zone. Shot around on the near side boards. Copeland looking to get it out again. It's on the stick of Nelson in the neutral zone. He dumps it in, but it's very quickly brought out by Copeland again. Fired right back into the Niagara zone. They look to clear again. Copeland at the blue line with 18 minutes gone in the period. Plays it across to the far side. And the Ice Dogs do get it out. Carried up to the blue line. Coming into the zone is Michaud of the Ice Dogs. He plays it to the point, to the near side. Dionisio with a shot. That gets blocked. Picked up off the near side boards by Struthers. He sends it in the corner. That's Wakely there for the Battalion, battling for it. It's moved down to the half boards, trying to dig away at it. A couple of guys involved on either side, and it's now down on the point. Struthers trying to keep it in. Off some skates and out to the neutral zone. Chasing it down the ice is Outwater for North Bay. He goes into the corner, gets knocked off the puck. Dionisio can't clear off the stick. It's controlled by Wakely. He gets hit at the line and the puck clears the zone. And now it's dumped in. 70 seconds left on the clock in this second period. 5-1 North Bay lead. Some more rough play at the line. The Ice Dogs now finally going the other way with it. Sarazati over the blue line. Plays it to the right side boards. Pass comes across to the near side. Dionisio back in the middle. Tarasevic is there. And he blocks the pass. And he's able to get the puck out of the zone. Drops it back to his own blue line for Govro. Plays it down the right side boards for Bouchard. Betts hits him. And now over the blue line comes Rubrick. He takes a shot. It's over the net. Played off the glass by Betts into the far side corner. Looking to center it. There's a shot. Stopped by DiVincentis. It goes into the near side corner. Picked up there by Cook. Down the point to Betts. Betts fires it in the near side corner. Now around to the far side boards. Govro looking to get it out. Picked up on the far side. Now down the point is Betts for Niagara. Takes a shot. Gloved by DiVincentis. And held on to for a stoppage in play. 8.6 seconds remaining with the Battalion up 5-1.
Real quick, we see a lot of things, or a lot of hype online right now about trade trees. Well, here's a convincing tree of how Avery Winslow turned into Alexander Lukin. Winslow comes from London. He convinces Matvei Guskov to be traded here. Matvei Guskov gets traded to North Bay. He never plays a game, but he convinces Matvei Petrov to let the Battalion take him first overall in the import draft. Matvei Petrov convinces Alexander Lukin to come, and that'll take us to the end of our second period. Sorry, Matt, but I just wanted to get that in real quick because we talked about the import players and how important they've been to this team and how important it's been, to have good import players. But that's how Avery Winslow has kind of started that little tree to trickle on down. And Matvei Guskov, who's never played a game for the Battalion, has played a big role on this current Battalion team.
Yeah, he certainly has. But the guys that are on the ice playing big roles are that top line. Brandon Coe getting a goal. And Matvei Petrov getting a goal as well. It's a 3-point night for Brandon Coe with a goal and 2 assists, helping lead the Battalion to a 5-1 lead through 40 minutes. Let's send things over to Bob and Derek for our second period intermission.
Thanks, Matt. Of course, the game day broadcast is the Bob Coles tree. Everyone has a relationship with Bob Coles in some form, either specifically or a derivative of. So that's called a segue into business, folks. 5-1, as the boys told you, in the after 40 minutes of play around the OHL tonight. Owen Sound and Erie are done. The Otters winning now on 5-3. Getting a lot more teams now going to play games in the U.S. That's a good sign, as some of those teams have to catch up schedule-wise. Ottawa and Peterborough late second, 2-1 for the Petes. And Peterborough will be here next week for their final visit during the regular season on a Friday night. Saginaw trails Windsor 2-1 after one period of play. They're about to start the second period. As for our stats in this one, 3 goals in that period, 2 by the Battalion, 1 by the Ice Dogs, so it's 5-1 after 2. 11-8 the shots in the first for Niagara, 12-7 for North Bay that period, so Battalion out shooting the Ice Dogs 20-18. Each team has had 2 power plays. Niagara 0 for 2, the Troops 1 for 2, and they've won 24 of the 42 face-offs. As you know, in the first period, North Bay got goals from Paul Christopoulos, his 3rd, Dallin Wakely, his 13th, with an assist from Christopoulos, and Kyle Jackson, 16th. Second period, 2 North Bay goals. Brandon Coe's 28th to go with the assist on the Jackson goal from Mitchell Russell and Ty Nelson. That was a power play goal at 2 minutes. Juan Copeland made it 4-1 with his 4th from Declan Waddick and Josh Rosenzweig, the Ice Dogs goalie, at 10:21, and 14:44 Matvei Petrov's 27th So another assist for Coe. So that's 1 goal, 2 assists, 14:44 the time of that one. Penalties, you had Cam Peters for high sticking at 1:34 for Niagara, and Isaac Enright for interference at 7:58. 5-1 Battalion after 2, Derek, and North Bay made one mistake, and that was Lucan on the hit, sort of pinching in that and trying to keep the puck in the Niagara end of the ice, but he left the gap open, and the Ice Dogs took advantage. But other than that, the big story, I think, is that the Coe, Jackson, Petrov line, you wouldn't know they haven't played together in a couple of months.
No, they picked up right where they left off back on December 3rd. As we said, Kyle Jackson was red hot before he left with the leg injury, picking up 24 points in the previous 10 games. He's come back in big tonight, adding that goal early on or late in the third period, and then just that whole line is combined together. Brandon Coe again adding a goal. Matvey Petrov adding his 27th goal. Those two guys are just going back and forth with scoring goals. It's just nice to see. And now with the insertion of Jackson back into the lineup, it just reinforces that second line. Right now we see Van Steensel, Russell, McDonald. We're still without Liam Arnsby, who's a big force and an all-around good player up on the front line. So getting him back, still Potaloo has just left last game. So there's another injury. Just still 3 key guys out with injuries. And you know what, as they get guys back, it's starting to look like this team could be built for a good deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, Potaloo, of course, got that dangerous hit in the Kingston game and left the game right away, didn't come back, and the guy who hit him got 8 games, even though there was only a 2-minute minor on the play. So really fortunate that Potaloo, because that looked very scary on that hit in the Kingston game, but he skated off on his own, which is a positive sign. So don't know the timing of that injury, but when he'll return, but the Battalion are no worse for wear on the scoreboard, leading 5-1. You mentioned Mitchell Russell, and what a great player to have. First round draft pick, he's playing on your second line, and you know he could fit right in on that first line, as we've seen with Petrov and Coe. He can carry you offensively, great on the power play, and then you just put him on your second line, and he looks pretty good. So let's hear this brief chat with Mitchell Russell from yesterday.
I just want to ask about the fact you didn't get everybody back. You got basically Matvey Petrov back, but yet the team's level of play jumped significantly. And it's not just him. It's like some of the younger guys are stepping up. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah.
What does it make you feel like when you can rely on, it's not just you and Coe and Petrov per se?
Yeah, I think obviously it's big for us. We've had a lot of adversity this year, and I think it took our younger guys a little while to adjust to playing a bigger role. But obviously it's really nice to have them contributing a lot more than they were, and I think that's going to be big for us down the stretch.
Do you feel more pressure to produce on the ice when you knew you were short-staffed?
No, I think every game for me is just going about it the same way. Just doing the little things that I do, game in, game out, and just doing my best.
Getting a little deeper into the second half now, has your guys' message or focus changed at all, or what is the message in the room second half of the season compared to the first?
No, I think it's been the same since game 1. Coach Uli's had the same message for us, and I think just every day doing the little details and working hard, and I think the wins will come with that.
That was Mitchell Russell yesterday talking to the in the scrum, Derek, and you wonder about guys doing different roles. I mean, playing different jobs, going from line to line, and when you have one of the veterans on the team, accept his role with the team, whether it's on the first line with Coe and Petrov, or going down to the second line, and sort of it's more of a team responsibility. You're not going to get as many offensive opportunities when you're not playing with Coe and Petrov, but when you see Russell adjust like that, it says a lot to the other guys on the team, doesn't it?
And I was just thinking the same thing, Bob, is how is the mentality of Mitchell Russell handling all this movement in and out of lines, first line, second line, power play units, and it just goes to show how versatile and how great of a team player and what he must provide for that locker room atmosphere. Just thinking about the playoffs is when you come to the playoff time, you're going to have Petrov, Jackson Cole probably going up against the top defensive lines of the other team, trying to shut that line down. You're going to be relying a lot on Mitchell Russell, Kyle McDonald, Liam Arnsby, and the secondary scoring, which is going to be really key come playoff time. So I think this is going to really help Mitchell Russell, and he's going to be prepared and have a really amazing playoff.
Yeah, and he's pretty good at killing penalties, too. First-round draft pick, of course, came over in the Adam McMaster trade, and I don't think Battalion fans are complaining about that deal right today. He's a big guy, and he's brought in all the newcomers, the young kids, the Russian veterans. Ryan Olan talked about it in the podcast. It's just a great atmosphere. Guys want to come to the rink, want to stay at the rink, work together. So Brandon Coe and Mitchell Russell, is what I've been told, they deserve a lot of the credit for being the leaders of this team and welcoming all the new players.
Yeah, and one of the things to really remember now is that Mitchell Russell, he's an overage player. This is when they start getting looks at and having to decide if they want to go that OUA route, university route, or do they want to try that minor pro route, or even maybe catch the eye of an OH or an NHL scout and sign an entry-level deal. He's one of these guys that can fit into almost any team build that is out there. And this is going to show, and he's going to get something out of this, whether it be OUA or even some pro looks later on.
Mitchell Russell, an important guy on this team, of course, all season long. Thanks to the DawStar video, we've been presenting some future talent with the U16. Who do we got today, Derek?
Today we have North Bay Trapper U16 defenseman Aiden Thomason. He comes in with 8 points scored, second on the team in defensive scoring, but a real intrigue part and really defensive minded out there for the North Bay Trappers.
At 5'11" and 160 pounds, Aiden Thomason is a hard-working defenseman for the North Bay U16 AAA Trappers.
I'm very effective in the D zone. I like to battle in the corners. Very hard worker in the corners, and I usually win those battles.
Thomason believes he's also an effective defenseman who can create offense on the power play.
I would say I'm pretty good at some lateral movement, making the guys move on the PK, and I can get pucks through holes.
Thomason says he worked hard during the long hockeyless days of the pandemic.
Oh, well, I knew if I was just going to sit around, guys were going to pass me, and I wanted to stay at the top of my game, so I got a couple of buddies from the team, and about 4 times a week we would go and run hills. And then once COVID started opening up a bit, I went to work out with my trainer and won about 5 times a week. I just hate losing battles. I don't want to be the guy that loses a battle, then the other team goes and scores a game-winning goal. I don't want to be that guy on the ice.
Thomason is hoping that hard work and dedication will pay off when the 2022 OHL priority selection takes place.
It would mean a lot to me. One of my top goals, I just think it would be cool to be a guy from a small town getting drafted.
This has been a DawStar Video Scouting presentation.
Thank you, Chris Dawson, for that. And Derek, when you're not broadcasting, you do a little coaching in the summer. So who have you coached in some of these videos or audios we've listened to this season?
Well, I've had the privilege of working alongside some of the other coaches in North Bay, and I've got to work with Aiden Thomason on the ice defensively. I've seen Zach Major, almost the entire squad I've got to work with somewhat on the ice in the past, 5 or 6 years, ever since basically minor peewee age group.
Well, and what do you come away with that in terms of, how, I guess what I'm impressed by is the commitment these players make 12 months a year to improving, right?
And that was the same thing I was thinking when he was talking about how him and a bunch of his friends got together and ran hills during the pandemic. That's a big decision for a kid, 15, to make that commitment. He could have easily said, no, I'm going to sit on the couch, play video games with my friends. And no, he's put this as a goal to reach the OHL, get drafted. And him and this group, it's a key group of players, and they've done an excellent work to get to this point. And I wish them all the best to get to the next level and achieve all their goals.
Well, the Battalion are achieving their goals at least tonight, up 5-1, and this is the start of a busy week for the Battalion. 2 more games this week. Tomorrow night in Mississauga in a big divisional game, battle for first place. The Steelheads lead by 9, and then Sunday Sudbury comes here for a 2 o'clock matinee. Next week the schedule is a little strange. A Wednesday night road game in Sudbury, a Friday night home game against the Peterborough Petes, and then a game on the weekend on the road. So a little change there, but let's talk about what I've noticed today, Derek. Last week was a tough week, and they got 3 wins. They beat the Sioux, one of the top teams, twice, and then they beat Kingston, one of the top teams in the East, on Sunday. And I'm sure there was some concern about having a little letdown against teams that aren't doing as well in the standings in Niagara and Sudbury, but so far we haven't seen it from the Battalion.
No, one of the big things is getting Kyle Jackson back in the lineup and Lucan. You don't want to let those guys down when they return. And one of the biggest things I've really noticed tonight is the foot speed of Dallin Wakely. Just seeing him tonight, he just is, to me, has appeared that he's taken that next step to gain speed. He's playing with a lot of confidence with the puck, and that just goes from the confidence of Ryan Uhlhan by allowing him and other rookies like Van Steensel to play time on that second line and play with some of the older players, and just watching how they handle themselves. And that's really been what has impressed me the most, is how these youngsters are continuing their growth even though they get maybe moved down the lineup a little bit.
Well, I think he's starting to realize how good he is, and his natural talent, his natural abilities, good enough to perform. And once he gets that experience, I think, the future is going to be very bright for Wakely. With a win tonight, the Battalion will move into number 2 in points in the East, but due to the divisional rotation, there'd actually be a 3rd seed. But of course, that games in hand scenario is still there. North Bay's playing their 45th game of the year tonight, Derek. Barrie, Kingston have played a lot fewer. So the standings are going to move in various stages here down the stretch here, with the Battalion having fewer games.
And it's hard. I keep thinking about, are they better off having the less games going down the stretch, knowing that they're going to get more days off, more rest before the playoffs, and they have those points in the bag. When you're coming from behind, you're always looking up at the standings, and in order to catch up, you actually have to win those hockey games. And by playing more and more, you're going to be more tired. And is that going to influence how you play in the playoffs? It's quite the conundrum that the North Bay Battalion have right now.
I'd rather have games in the bank. I would rather not be behind, because it forces coaches to play their best players maybe a little too much, and they get tired. That's when injuries set in, and the guys who are out, they have time to recover with a lot of off days. So I think it helps them there.
I totally agree, Bob. I would like to have those extra days off. You can work on a little bit more strategy, give guys rest that need the rest, and have those victories, have those points, make everyone else chase you. And hopefully it's going to pay off come playoff time.
Well, Matt Sukram doesn't get a lot of days off, works all day, and then, of course, he does the Battalion game. So he's going to be stepping in for the 3rd period in a moment to call it. And, of course, Courtney Kenny alongside with the analysis. And as the Battalion lead it 5-1 and looking for their 3rd win over the IceDogs here in their 5th meeting this season. Courtney, all ready to go?
I'm ready to go, Bob. I was born ready, except for when I messed up the intermissions earlier. But that is what it is. Thank you so much, Mr. Coles and Mr. Lindeman, for taking us through the second intermission. You'll hear from them once again in the post-game show. And the Battalion are getting ready to go again here. 5-1 lead. Shots are 20-18. And here's Matt Sukram to call the final frame.
Thank you, Courtney. And the puck is dropped, and the Niagara Ice Dogs, who's got some work to do, are trying to break into the zone, but it's blocked. And now Jackson going the other way for the Battalion. He's got a goal tonight in his return to the lineup. He gets knocked down behind the net, coughs up the puck in the process, and it's Dakota Betts going the other way for the Ice Dogs, dumping it in. DiVincentis plays it from behind the net, flips it out to the neutral zone. It's a foot race to it. Coe has it on the breakaway. Brandon Coe gets denied. Rebound to Jackson. He gets denied. Rosenzweig with 2 of the best saves you are going to see this season.
That's 3 in one game, Matt, of fantastic 10-bell saves. He's going to own the saves of the week.
Save number 3. Rosenzweig. Save number 2, Rosenzweig. Save number 1, Rosenzweig. I mean,
you don't need to be a fortune teller to know that's how the list is going to go.
That is unbelievable. And that was a stack the pad windmill save on the Jackson attempt. And now there's a shot on net, and it squeaks through the pads of Rosenzweig, and the Battalion make it 6-1. A minute 8 in. It is Mitchell Russell getting credited for the goal. The hustle squeaks one through.
That's the second time in this game, Matt, where Rosenzweig's gone and made like an amazing save, and then they immediately turn around and they just a random puck passes gets by him, and that was a bad angle that Russell got that from as well. That's the hustle's 25th of the season. So good to see Mitch Russell getting back on the score sheet on that new look second line.
Mitchell Russell, like you said, 25 goals on the season. That's going to be his second point on the night. He got an assist earlier in the game. And we got to mention that Brandon Coe is now up to 190 career points with his 3-point night tonight. And Brandon Coe with 3 points on the night now has 14 points in 5 games against the Niagara Ice Dogs this season.
Oh my goodness.
You think he's chomping at the bit to play the Ice Dogs?
Well, you know, they wear the same colors as the Chicago Blackhawks, so maybe when he gets to the NHL with the Sharks, he'll be pretty happy playing the Blackhawks as well.
That's it. We're 2 minutes into this third period, and the Battalion leads 6-1, and it's all the heavy hitters you would expect. Jackson, Coe, Petrov, Russell getting on the board, but not to be outdone by Paul Christopoulos and Dalton Wakely, who got the scoring started in that first period. And the Battalion looking to just keep going on cruise control here. 6-1 lead as the Ice Dogs have it. Leonard to the far side. The shot comes in wide of the net. Wakely has it on the far side. Back out to the neutral zone, and it's cleared. Being chased by Douglas Najem, and he'll hold it behind the net. Coming out to the neutral zone, the Ice Dogs control. They get up to the blue line, but taken away Govro on that play for the Battalion. Gets it out to the neutral zone to Tarasevic. Dumps it in, takes an awkward bounce off the half-boards and was going to the net, but not enough speed on that one to go to the empty net where Rosenzweig was coming out to play it and did not read that bounce. Play back inside the Niagara zone. Sirazotti has it. Out to the neutral zone, Ladd. Drops back behind the blue line to Govro. Back up the middle, Tarasevic dumping it in. Rosenzweig out of his net to clear it out of the zone. Picked up by Tarasevic in the neutral zone. Plays it back to Ladd. Across to the near side to Govro. Govro up the middle to Romani. Romani going in over the blue line to the left side. Cuts to the middle. Lost control of the puck trying to get it back, but it squirts out over the blue line. And it's in the neutral zone. Romani doing a good job, though, on the back check. Just trying to make sure that the Ice Dogs player Michaud didn't get a free pass in all alone on DiVincentis. 4 minutes into the period. Here comes Petrov with a shot. That gets blocked. 6-1 North Bay lead. Back out to the neutral zone. It's Lukin in control. He plays it over to Christopoulos, who sends it down the ice to Petrov. Over to Jackson in the middle. Tries to feed up ahead to Coe, but that got blocked. Christopoulos now pinching in. Takes a big shot. Save made by Rosenzweig. and he holds on to it for stoppage and play. 4:27 into period number 3. It's 6-1 North Bay.
You usually see positional players, with the funny tape jobs or the interesting. They're just giving an assist for Rosenweg on the lone Niagara goal, and he was a player I was about to talk about. Is you usually see the players with the interesting tape jobs. He's got the Tim Stutzla in net, Josh Rosenweg, just like Dallin Wakely has it out as a player.
Shot in on Rosenzweig. It's over the crossbar and played off the end boards by Betts. He gets out of the zone, racing down the ice over the blue line, backhanded toward the net, and that's steered away by DiVincentis. Up ahead to Jackson, who finds Coe going one-on-one into the zone. Coe cuts to the left side, looking for some support, goes to the circle, pass to the middle, and it's deflected wide of the net with Nelson pitching in on that play. Coe gets it back in the left side circle. He sends it across the zone for Jackson, tries to put it in the middle. That gets blocked, and it's back out to the neutral zone. Played up ahead to Nelson behind the Niagara blue line. He whips it in. It ricochets around the boards, and it's carried out by Agostinelli into the neutral zone. Gets around one man, goes to the right side, going to the goal line, now behind the net. Agostinelli still on it, gets pushed into the corner, off the boards, and the puck comes loose out to the neutral zone. McDonald sends it up ahead to Van Steensel over the blue line. His cut to the middle is blocked, but now the puck goes off the end boards. Van Steensel gets knocked off the puck back there. The puck clearing attempt denied by McDonald. Russell picks it up, sent to the middle. Russell is there. He gets denied on the backhand by Rosenzweig, and now it's sent back around to the near side. Govro pinching in, gets it away from Castles, puts it into the corner to Van Steensel. Van Steensel can't control it there, and it's cleared out to the neutral zone and into the North Bay end. 6 minutes into the third period. 6-1 the score in favor of the North Bay Battalion. 3 goals in the first, 2 in the second, just 1 here in the third so far. DiVincentis plays it behind the net. He's made 18 saves today in his return to the lineup for the battalion. He leaves it for Govro, sent down the right wing side, off the boards, and picked up in the Niagara zone by the Ice Dogs. Dionisio up the middle. Coming into the zone is Michaud. Now to Rubrick. The shot is blocked. Into the corner, Michaud is there. Can't get a pass to the middle. It's taken away by Outwater of North Bay. He clears it to the neutral zone to Leonard. Played across to the far side. Back to the near side to Leonard behind his own blue line. He feeds it down the ice. Michaud dumps it in. Lukin has it for North Bay on the end boards. He tries to clear. Copeland takes it away. Copeland looking for a centering pass. That gets blocked. Now off the end board, shot from a sharp angle is blocked as well. Picked up by Outwater. He clears the zone for North Bay. Goes down the ice to the middle. The shot from Outwater is stopped. His rebound shot is denied as well. Picked up on the far side boards by the Ice Dogs, and it's dumped down the ice by Douglas Najem. It's picked up by Lukin of the battalion with 7:10 gone in the period. He gets it out of the zone. 6-1 lead for North Bay as the Ice Dogs come back in onside. Puck taken away by Paul Christopoulos of the battalion and dumped out to the neutral zone. Play on the far side boards in front of the bench. Picked up by Tarasevic. He comes in the zone, shot wide of the net, and it's now picked up behind the net by the Ice Dogs. They're trying to clear. Stopped at the blue line. Tarasevic keeps it in. Pass to the right side to Nelson. Going to the top of the circle. Tries a shot from a sharp angle. That squirts through to the near side boards for Winslow. He plays it around to the far side. Michaud is there for the Ice Dogs, and he'll dump it down the ice. Nelson chasing. Icing waved off as Nelson gets the puck behind his own net. Now he centers it to the neutral zone for Tarasevic, who plays up ahead to Bouchard. He's got a step going in. The shot. Save made. Loose puck in front, and that's denied as well with Nelson once again up ahead of everybody. The defender for the battalion catches it now out of the air, and then he throws it over the Winslow. And as he let go of the puck, he went, oh, shoot, why'd I do that?
Yeah, it's very obvious that when you throw the puck, that it's a hand pass. It's very obvious, when you completely change the trajectory of the puck and you hold on to it for a couple of seconds. It's not like he batted it down or anything. He held on to it for a couple of seconds. So Ty Nelson showing his rookie stripes a little bit in an otherwise un-rookie-like season.
Well, it looked like he was playing rugby there, right? Trying to pitch it back to the guy, and then went, wait a second.
Getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Sport here. I think everyone just needed a breath there. That was a long time that line was out there.
Yeah.
Battalion back on the offensive attack here. Deep inside the Niagara zone. Govro is behind the net. The rookie defender gets knocked off the puck, and Femis for the Ice Dogs goes the other way. Plays it towards DiVincentis, who holds on to it for a stoppage of play. We haven't really mentioned DiVincentis much since the beginning of the game. He's now made 19 saves in this game. And you know what? He's looked pretty good when he's needed to in his return to the lineup.
Absolutely, Matt. And you know what? He was looking pretty good there throughout January, too, in the games that he got in. And then just, of course, getting that hit to the head by Gushkin in the last time that these two teams met down in St. Catharines. So good to see Dom get back in net and back up Joe a little bit last weekend as well. So after he had to sit out a couple of games, especially because head injuries, you never know how long they can last.
8:50 into the third period. It's 6-1 North Bay ahead. They get it out of the zone, but very quickly Ice Dogs shoot it right back in. Now a delayed offside as the Ice Dogs will retreat. DiVincentis leaves it behind his net for Paul Christopoulos. He moves down the middle. Now over the blue line, down the left wing side to McDonald, who dumps it in over the blue line. Couple of players converge on the half boards. Russell knocked over, and the puck gets knocked loose. Back out to the neutral zone. Christopoulos tries to bring it back over for North Bay. He finds Russell going in over the middle. A little poke check made as he pushes it into the far side corner. It's picked up back there by Dionizio and cleared out of the zone. Castle has it for Niagara. He fires it into the zone, gloved down by Russell, but then he tries to clear, and Castle keeps it in the zone for Niagara and dumps it in behind the North Bay net, picked up back there by Lukin, who fires it to the near side corner to Christopoulos. Paul Christopoulos sends it back to the far side corner for Lukin. Lukin, stretch pass down the ice to McDonald, over the blue line, one-on-one into the zone. McDonald ran out of room, has to cut to the far side boards, carries it back to the blue line as he waits for support, and then he got knocked off the puck, and now Niagara back in control. Their dump in is blocked. Outwater sends it up to Wakely, going in behind the defense. Wakely then gets turned back by Enright, tries a pass to Outwater. He can't find a outlet to get it to, and now it's the Ice Dogs going back the other way with 10:15 gone in the period. North Bay up 6-1, but a couple of chances there to make it 7-1. However, the Niagara defense really showing up on those plays. Here comes Sema into the zone now. His pass across the middle is blocked by Rubrick, and he gets a pass to Femis going down the ice on the breakaway. He's stopped by DiVincentis, who easily makes his biggest save of the game. Now Wakely the other way. Drop pass to Sema, who fires it into the pads of Rosenzweig, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play. Halfway through the third, it's 6-1 Derek.
Mitchell Russell, with his 25th on the season, has extended the Troops' lead to 5 as they lead the Ice Dogs by a score of 6-1. Coming up in the Longs Maple Syrup post-game show, I'll be joined by Bob Coles as we dissect tonight's game, as it's been quite the entertaining return by both Dom DiVincentis and Kyle Jackson. We'll take a look around the other 3 OHL games on this Thursday evening, and take a look at tomorrow's important matchup as the North Bay Battalion travel down to take on the Mississauga Steelheads. With the conclusion of this third period, let's rejoin Courtney Kenny and Matt Sukram.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lindemann, for that mid-period hit. This one a little bit closer to the mid-period mark than in the second period, where it was like 5 minutes left in the game. There's 9:18 left in this, and you know, when I look at the score 6-1, it reminds me of the Powassan Voodoos in the 1920 season, where they would run up the score a little bit against the French River Rapids. And from my vantage point, in between the benches doing the public address, you would always hear Greg Trudeau-Paquette, number 20 for the Voodoos at the time. It was usually against the French River Rapids. He'd skate by the bench after scoring a goal and say, "I love points night, boys."
Hopefully he said it loud enough so the other team would hear, right?
No,
that's a great chirp.
That's exactly what he'd say, looking right at their bench.
Yeah, that's awesome. Playback underway. North Bay leads 6-1. 11 minutes gone in this period now. Out to the neutral zone. It's Cato who has it for the Ice Dogs. Plays it up to the blue line. Michaud gets hit coming over the line. Christopoulos trying to push him off the puck. It comes up to the line with Sema in control. He gets up to the center ice and then dumps it in on the backhand. Betts has it for Niagara. Plays it into the near side corner. sent down the ice looking for a long stretch pass. It gets past everybody, and it will be icing called against the Niagara Ice Dogs. Courtney Paul Christopoulos, he's had a pretty good game. He's got a goal tonight and an assist on the Wakely goal. But you know what? Earlier this season, he had to say bye to his brother, Alex Christopoulos, who was traded to Windsor. You got to wonder how that's got to affect a player on the ice when they timeout's being taken here by the Niagara Ice Dogs. So you got to wonder how that's got to affect a player when your twin, not just your brother, your twin brother leaves.
Identical, too.
And, you've never played hockey without him. And now, in your highest level of hockey, you're not together anymore.
Yeah, and you're away from home, too, on top of that as well. So there's some familiarity, at least, to having your brother with you. But Alex asked for the trade. And, it's hard to argue with him right now. He felt he wasn't getting the ice time he deserved here, and he's put up some points in Windsor. And Josh Curry as well now joining him shortly after, a couple of months later with the trade deadline. So you definitely have to think that Paul's a little bit, not miffed. Of course, he knew it was coming, and he was consulted on it as well, from what I've understood. But it's still got to be strange, too, to not look up and see 25 and see your reflection looking at you.
That's exactly it. Shot toward Rosenzweig, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play. According to the Battalion, after 2 periods of play this season, 13-0-2 when they lead after 2 periods of play, and they've got a big lead here. They're up by 5. It's 6-1 with 11:45 gone in the third period here.
Well, that just proves that unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs, Ryan Houlihan's squad is very good at keeping leads and doing a great job of it as well.
I love that Leaf fans are the first one to criticize.
I'm so broken inside. or what is it with Michael Scott on the one talking head on the office? I'm dead inside.
That's it. The Battalion looking to make it 5 in a row here. They're up by 5, and here comes Lukin with a shot. Save made, loose puck on the doorstep. Rosenzweig out of his net. Big scramble on the doorstep. Tarasevic has it. Took the shot. That got blocked. Now it's in the far side corner. Sent around to the near side. Rosenzweig back in his net. Lukin has it at the point across to Nelson. There's a shot that ricochets wide. Back out in front of the net. And Rosenzweig jumps on top of it for stoppage in play.
Maybe you think that Lukin waited a little bit too long for that shot, as Rosenzweig was able to come out and really cut off the angle for Lukin. Like, he was way out of his net. He was almost up by, the slot area, way out of the blue paint, but he makes a great save again. But you have to wonder, every time Rosenzweig makes a big save, the Battalion come around and score a goal, and they got that top line of Jackson, Coe, and Petrov out there, so it makes you wonder if something's going to happen here on this shift.
But the Battalion cannot win the draw. And the Ice Dogs clear it. Picked up very quickly in the neutral zone by Petrov. Over the blue line. Jackson on the left side. Center to Coe to Petrov. The shot wide of the net. Picked up on the near side boards by Enright. And he clears the zone. 12:50 gone in period number 3. North Bay leads 6-1. 4 straight wins for the troops. Knocked off Ottawa, Sault Ste. Marie twice, and Niagara. 3 of those games, the Battalion did not allow more than 2 goals. 6:45 to play in the period as the puck is knocked off the scoreboard. And so we will reset, and in 3 of those games, the Battalion scored at least 5 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think those 3 came all last weekend against the Sioux and Kingston. But another thing I want to add is the Battalion were on a 5-game losing skid before this 4-game winning streak. So if they're able to gut it out here for the next 6 minutes and 46 seconds, they'll have basically nullified that 5-game losing streak.
Play underway as the Battalion win the draw in the Niagara zone. In behind the net, Russell has it. Going into the far side corner. Now to the half boards, played across the middle. Lukin's there, but he can't get it past Rosenzweig, and now some pushing and shoving going on in front of the net. Lukin takes a bit of a push right at Rosenzweig, who hacked him with his goalie stick. And so you got to think that the officials are going to call something here. Both teams have had 2 power plays each, but they were good hockey calls. They weren't anything untoward, but now you're seeing some rough stuff happening. And so it is double minors for roughing. Enright on the Niagara side, Van Steensel on the North Bay side. And with 13:29 gone in period number 3, it is 6-1 for the Battalion. And now we're going to have some 4-on-4 action.
You had to think that if Rosenweg really got into it with Lucan, would you see Dom come down the ice? I don't know if Dom would want to do that in his first game back from injury.
I don't think so. Play back underway. Christopoulos coming down the ice on the right wing side, feeds it up ahead to Russell. It's deflected off his stick, then right towards Rosenzweig, who gets up and clears it down the ice. And that's going to be icing called. Rosenzweig must have thought that the Ice Dogs were going to get ahead of him because he got up quickly and just fired it down the ice. And I don't know, he must have seen something that...
Yeah, he must have thought that there was a play that he could start from that. And
yeah.
His body language here tonight, other than the big saves, has been really poor. He's taken the puck out of his net real quickly and shoved it back up to the neutral zone real quick after goals. And even then, after that one, he looked unimpressed with his teammates. So, I mean, when you're down 6-1, fair enough.
Coe in front to Nelson, who deflects the puck just wide of the net. Ladd has it now on the half boards in the Niagara zone. Ladd drops it back to Nelson. Nelson to the middle of the zone. Skates back to the blue line. Now he finds Ladd on the right side, left side circle. Plays it across. It's off a skate and denied. Not sure if Rosenzweig got a piece of it or it deflected wide on the far side, but still in play. It's Ladd in control at the blue line. Sends it up to the circle to Jackson. Back down to Ladd at the line. Back to Jackson on the right side. Now to Ladd in the middle. Ladd looking for some support. He gets pressured by 3 Ice Dogs players, and they knock the puck away from him. And it comes out to the neutral zone down the ice. Michaud the shot. It's a save made by DiVincentis. Almost 15 minutes into the third period. 6-1 lead. A shot comes in towards DiVincentis, and he gloves it down for a stoppage in play. 30 seconds remaining in the penalties to Enright and Van Steensel.
I was going to say for a moment there with the Battalion, are we sure they're not on the power play? Because they really had some zone time against the Niagara Ice Dogs. They really did a good job of moving the puck east to west a lot, and they had a great A scoring chance on Grayson Ladd's pass to the slot as well.
Yeah, Ladd moved the puck around well there on that 4-on-4 opportunity. North Bay break out of the zone, and they've got the puck in the Niagara end. Play on the right side corner, trying to get it out of the zone for the Ice Dogs is Dionisio. He gets it up ahead to Leonard, coming down the right wing side with Sirzati. He centers it. They get around DiVincentis, but they send it off the post. That was probably their best opportunity since they scored a goal. The Ice Dogs trying to make something happen here with 15 minutes gone in this one. And now Van Steensel coming in. His shot snaps the stick of Ryan Struthers in half. The puck is still in play. It's Petrov behind the net. Tries to center it. It's off the back of the net into the near side corner. Van Steensel throws a hit. Van Steensel looking to center it. Bouncy puck finally gets gloved down by Rosenzweig, who holds on to it for another stoppage in play. 16:01 gone in the third. 6-1 the score, North Bay.
Yeah, what a shot by Van Steensel, snapping Ryan Struthers' stick like that. That was a hard shot. And of course, we would be remiss without mentioning Ryan Struthers. We have before on this broadcast, but his older brother, Matthew Struthers, really a star for the Battalion for a couple of years as well here in North Bay.
The Battalion win the draw. They play it back to Lucan. Fires it wide of the net, picked up off the far side boards, down to the point, backhanded in by Ladd. Ladd, one of those guys, as he talked about earlier, picked up by the front in a trade with the Windsor Spitfires. It comes down the ice, a shot on DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play.
Yeah, great pickup for Adam Dennis, the general manager of the North Bay Battalion, who's currently watching his team from down in the corner where the team goes off. That seems to be his new good luck spot. He used to sit up here, but during the bit of a skid, he decided to start standing down there, and it's worked out pretty good considering they're looking to win their 5th in a row. But yeah, what a pickup for him and Kyle McDonald for Josh Curry and some picks.
Battalion get the puck out of the zone. Nick Sema racing down the ice. 1-on-1, the shot save made by Rosenzweig as he kicks it away. It's now on the near side half board. Sema can't get another shot off. It's picked up by Whittick, and it's down to the point on the far side, kept in the zone by Lukin. He tries to play it up ahead to Sema, can't get another shot off. Castle all over him on the near side half boards, and it's cleared. Ladd has it, and he drops back all the way to his own blue line. Now he plays it up ahead to Romani. Lost it briefly, gets it back. Romani trying to get around a couple of guys, looking for some support. He finally finds Sema in the center ice circle, but then it's taken away from him. Copeland finds Femus of the Ice Dogs. His shot, kick save made by DeVincentis. Now it's down on the near side to Femus again. His shot, knuckling towards the net, and now cleared away by the North Bay Battalion. Elwater had to get a new stick as his stick snapped on the shot by Femus, but it's picked up by Govro, and he heads down the ice, coming down the left wing side, going into the corner, tries to play it in the middle of the zone. Outwater is there looking for a shot, but he gets knocked into the boards, and now Wakely trying to support him. Wakely coming towards the net, takes a shot. It's deflected and down to the point to Govro. He skates to the middle, takes a shot deflected wide of the net. 2:15 remaining in this game. 6-1 North Bay lead. Nelson has it in the neutral zone. He fires it to the far side corner. Picked up behind the net by Leonard. Sends it to the far side boards and taken out of the zone by the Ice Dogs. Their pass into the zone is blocked by Lucan. He sends it up the other way for Bouchard. He comes in on the left side. There's a shot save made. Bouncy puck back out in front. Loose puck now behind the net. Kicked away by a couple of defenders in front of the net, but now Bouchard has control. Still along the end boards. The puck goes down to the half boards to Lucan on the near side. He tries to flip it forward. That gets blocked, and it's back out to the neutral zone. It's Nelson behind his own blue line. He finds Lucan. Plays it up to Bouchard, who dumps it back in towards the Niagara netminder, who leaves it for his defenseman. And now one of the defenders almost getting caught in front of his own net with the Battalion, putting on the pressure on the forecheck. Out of the zone, they turn it over. It's 2-0. Tarasevich to McDonald to Tarasevich, and he will score. There was about 6 passes between Tarasevich and McDonald, and Tarasevich has his 3rd goal of the season to make it 7-1.
Tarasevich's first goal as a North Bay Battalion as well. And yeah, you almost wondered if McDonald and Tarasevich made one pass too many, but it just trickles in past Rosenzweig, who was doing everything in his power to really stop that. You know, it's kind of tough when it's a 2-0 coming against you, but he really made the splits right across the net and took away what opportunity I thought, but Tarasevich really getting a nice goal there for his first with the Battalion.
And you got to wonder what the coaching staff has to say to Alec Leonard there. Oh, hang on. I don't know if this is going to get reviewed or not. Didn't see anything on the replay that would warrant a review.
Maybe offside?
Maybe. Okay, so we're getting another look at it here. I was going to say, Alec Leonard had a really bad play in front of the net where he took the puck, there was clear ice in front of him, and then he tried to cut to the far side, ran into Tarasevich, and then almost turned the puck over in front of his net, got away from them, came out to the neutral zone, and then a Battalion player came up and just poked it away from him, leading to the 2-0. So not a great shift there for Alec Leonard. But kudos to the Battalion for being up by 5 goals and continuing the pressure on the forecheck, especially that line, right? That is
Absolutely.
The Tarasevich, Romani, Bouchard line.
With McDonald.
Yeah, like that was. And now Sema gets called. He'll head to the box. 55 seconds remaining in the game. Niagara will have their 3rd power play of the game. They're 0 for so far tonight. And they're down by 6. So the Ice Dogs win the draw. Right in the middle. Waddick tries to pass it to the near side. That got blocked. And it's cleared out of the zone. And now Coe is basically piled on top of one of the Niagara players. And so they're going to blow the play down. That was Ryan Struthers. Him and Coe got knocked into each other, and then Coe didn't really get off of him. And so they just blow it down.
Wonder if Struthers is looking up at him saying, hey, man, my brother said you were cool.
Yeah, maybe. 38 seconds ago, the Battalion up 7-1, down by a man right now. And they win the draw in the neutral zone. McDonald brings it to the blue line. Now he gets knocked down. Puck still stuck on the near side half boards. Picked up by Copeland. He dumps it into the North Bay end. Ladd has it in the corner with 20 seconds to play. Back behind the net, it's McDonald who picks it up for North Bay, but he can't clear. Struthers keeps it in at the blue line, trying to find Copeland down the right wing side. He gets knocked into the boards, and the puck gets cleared. 5 seconds to go, and North Bay are going to make it 5 in a row as they defeat the Niagara Ice Dogs 7-1 here at Memorial Gardens. Welcome back, Dom DeVincentis, 24 saves in net tonight, and welcome back, Kyle Jackson, a couple of points, including a goal as the Battalion take down the Ice Dogs 7-1.
Yeah, if you can't get a crack at Gushkin after injuring DeVincentis, well, you know what? Take it out on the scoreboard, and that's exactly what the Battalion did with a 7-1 victory here tonight. And a lot of great games for a lot of Battalion. But to take you all through that and around the OHL, we'll pass things over to Bob Coles and Derek Linneman for the postgame show. Gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Yes, a big win for the Battalion, 7-1, making up for what happened last time they played in the city of St. Catharines. In fact, two straight games they fell to defeat. Let's check the OHL scores. Owen Sound lost 5-3 to Erie. Ottawa is losing 4-1 to Peterborough, last minute of the game there. And Saginaw Windsor, late second period, 3-0 for the Spitfires. Let's check out the stats in this one. 3-0 North Bay after one. It was 5-1 after two, and two unanswered for the troops in the third. Shots on goal, 33-25 North Bay. 13-7 in the third, 12-7 in the second. So they outshot the Ice Dogs 25-14 in the last two periods. In the first period, Niagara outshot North Bay 11-8. Power plays, not much of a story tonight. 0 for 3 for the Ice Dogs, 1 for 2 for North Bay. Overall on the faceoffs, 33-27 Battalion. Scoring summary, Paul Christopoulos is third from Cam Govro and Dallin Wakely at 8:30 of the first. Wakely made it 2-0 with his 13th from Christopoulos, his second point, and Grayson Ladd at 17:29, and that was the game-winning goal. Kyle Jackson's first game back since early December, scores on his 16th of the year from Avery Winslow and Brandon Coe at 19:42 of the first. It was 3-0 after one. Second period, Coe's 28th and second point for Mitchell Russell and Ty Nelson on the power play made it 4-0. Juan Copeland, North Niagara's only goal, his fourth of the year from Declan Waddick and Josh Rosenzweig, the Ice Dogs goalie, at 10:21, and Matvey Petrov's 27th from Coe, Coe's third point of the night at 14:44. Third period, 108, Mitchell Russell's second point from a goal from Owen Van Steensel at 108, his 25th of the year, and Nikita Tarasevich's third from Kyle McDonald, 18:46. That's his first goal as a member of the North Bay Battalion. Three penalties that third period, Isaac Enright for roughing at 13:29, Owen Van Steensel also at 13:29 for North Bay, and Nick Sema for tripping with 56 seconds to go. So the Battalion win it going away 7-1. They're 3-2 in the season series against the Ice Dogs. And they start their week off with their fifth straight win. Started it against Ottawa 11 days ago. Had a perfect week last week, another win tonight. And their toughest test yet may come tomorrow night in Mississauga, as they're 7 points back of the Steelheads in the standings. But a convincing win tonight, Derek.
Yeah, exactly what Dom DeVincentis needed for a game back. He got into action very early, and he made some key saves that kept the battalion in early, and he just played a solid game. Nice to see him back. And what a way to kick off the weekend. It's a busy weekend again. Mississauga tomorrow night. They can start preparing for that. Take a little rest tonight. It's going to be a long trip down to Mississauga as they will be taking on that Steelhead team that they've struggled with quite a bit and looking to build momentum and continue the momentum coming as they were able to put 7 goals past Niagara Ice Dog goaltenders tonight. 7 different goal scorers. Great to see all-around scoring.
And how about those 2 saves back-to-back in the third period by Rosenzweig? I mean, stops Cohen a breakaway. The rebound comes out to Kyle Jackson. Looks like he has an empty net, and he somehow stacked the pads.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. That first save kind of looked like Hasek as he was swimming in the goal crease, reaching back with both arms, making that save on Coe. And then that rebound save, he was still in a laying down position, found a way to stack the pads, take away as much net as possible, and exactly that. He was probably, to me, the most outstanding Niagara Ice Dog player, as he also made a 10-bell save early in that first period. He had a great performance. Unfortunately, the Niagara Ice Dogs weren't able to support him.
North Bay now with 54 points, 45 games in the books. So they got 23 games to go and 9 more against Sudbury and Niagara, the bottom 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. The Wolves are just 2 back of the Petes, and the Ice Dogs are 7 back of Sudbury. So these are the games you got to win down the stretch against teams below you in the standings. And we talked about the games in hand scenario. Ottawa played tonight, so Ottawa's played 43, North Bay's 45th, Kingston's only played 39, Oshawa 40, Barrie 37. So Barrie's got 8 games in hand on the battalion, and Barrie has 44 points, so they're 10 back of North Bay. So there'll be a lot of jigging playoff position down the stretch here. But we talked about it before. North Bay really can set up the last quarter of the season. The schedule is not going to kill them. They won't be playing, 4 and 5, and some teams may have to. There has been some talk about extending the season by 2 weeks. Nothing official yet, but that won't. If they do that, that's another advantage the battalion will have.
And most definitely, I think coming down the stretch, the more time off, the better it'll be. Trying to get players maybe healthy, working on new schemes, and just getting ready for the playoffs instead of having to play the high energy, intensive hockey down the stretch. I know last time we talked, the Barrie Colts were only a couple points behind the North Bay Battalion, but with games in hand. But the last 5 games, North Bay has reeled off those 5 wins. They're on a 5-game winning streak. Barrie going the opposite way, so that's not very good, helpful, even though you have those games in hand.
You know who they'd play in the first round of the playoffs right now, don't you? The Barrie Colts. Long way to go, but it's not really that long. 8 weeks left. If they go to the 2 weeks, I don't see how they can finish on April 3rd, everybody getting 68 games in, because that's only 6 weeks from Sunday.
Well, and it's not just the OHL that you got to look at when you're talking about extending the OHL league. By extending the league, you're going to be extending the playoffs, which run into the Memorial Cup in St. John's. So when we're talking about extending the OHL, it's also going to be extending the QJHL, the WHL. They're going to have to come together and form a way in order to get everyone finishing still around the same time in order to have a good Memorial Cup. Maybe you have to move the Memorial Cup to a later date in June.
Well, the other option, of course, is to shorten the season and make it like a 62-game season. That's another option as well. I think they haven't announced it, because they want to do it, but I think you're right. It's got to culminate with all these other events, and I'm sure they want. I would imagine they would want 16 teams in the playoffs, so they don't want to shorten the number of teams in the playoffs. They don't want to allow like 6 teams, and They want. That's where you make your money, right? And the longer they wait, I think, hopefully protocols get changed, then they can get more fans in the buildings.
And that's the same with going to shortening the season. How do you tell teams that you're going to lose out on home games when, even right now, when there's only 500 spectators allowed due to restrictions, that's where they're making their money. And even though it's very minimal with only 500 spectators, that's still money in the pockets going towards the players that are offsetting costs. It's hard to tell owners that we're going to be taking home gates away from you.
Battalion have 2 more home games before the next stage takes effect, and that would be Sunday afternoon against Sudbury and next Friday against Peterborough, because the next date is February 21st. Now, things can change, as we know, but so hopefully that'll get up to the 50% or 1,000 people, I think, is the next protocol, and hope that gets lifted. Just getting back to tonight, Dallin Wakely, I know he's looked like a goal scorer all year, but that was a goal scorer's goal. He scored the eventual winning goal today.
Yeah, and when you're coming down that left wing side, he's that right-hand shot. A lot of times the goaltenders seem to overplay to the body and not to the puck. So when you take that shot from that right-handed area, he's got a lot more room to Rosenwig's glove-hand side, giving him a better angle coming down that. It's a little harder for Rosenwig to take away that angle. And you know what? There wasn't much room in there, and Wakely made no mistake finding that top corner.
And as we bring in Ben Long, Long's Maple Syrup, presenting the post-game show for you. And Ben, I want to talk to you about Paul Christopoulos. I thought tonight he got North Bay's offense going, but to me it was his value on defense. Really an understated game, but he looked so good out there, didn't he?
Yeah, at the start of the season, he was getting a lot of sort of third pairing type shifts. He was playing with Rose a bit there. But the last few games, he's been playing some heavy minutes. He was the one that was being tasked with being out there with Wright all the time last game when Kingston was in town. He seemed to be getting a fair amount of defensive responsibility here tonight. I think we're going to start seeing him take over as sort of that expected to be the shutdown guy, even though he has the offensive ability, and he showed it tonight. He's being tasked with a lot of the defensive end on his own side.
Well, and that's the thing with Mathurin out for a prolonged absence. You're going to need guys like him and Lucan to be those dependable stay-at-home guys, and I thought they did a good job there. What else impressed you about the game?
Well, the one thing I want to comment on that, I don't know if there's so much that impressed me, but a comment that was made by a couple people tonight was about how Lucan made that pinch in and it was possibly a bad pinch. I'm going to go to bat for him on that one. When he was sitting there on the pinch, Romani was high at the time too. So he went into pinch, and then kind of all of a sudden Romani wasn't high anymore, and then there was no one back to cover him. And that's how the player got away on his own there.
Well, I'm sure the coaches would say to him, there's nothing wrong with pinching in that situation. But when you make a decision to hit somebody, it takes you out of the play, right?
Yeah.
And that leads to the break. It not only, and maybe Romani should have been there in that scenario, but if he just sort of closes on him but doesn't hit him, he takes himself out of the play, and it creates an opportunity. But that's a small point. I think Kucholohan was pretty pleased with how things went tonight, winning 7-1. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think with their offense is really widening, not relying on 3 guys anymore, especially when you're getting Jackson back, to have Russell on that second line with McDonald, who's been putting out some offense, Van Steensel, who stepped up his game, and even on third line we had Wakely. He has that quick, deceptive shot. Both times he scored goals, he kind of has the puck on his stick, and then all of a sudden it's in the net.
Yeah, when you're winning 7-1, it's like third world problems, right? It's which big car should I buy this year, and that's. But the Battalion, they went through a stretch where they were having first world problems, and now they're winning games again. And Derek, they look like they were looking in December the last few games, and better than that, they're young guys. They're starting to fit in, so they're not really relying on 3 or 4 players to win. It's a total team performance.
No, and not saying that those injuries were really a good thing, but when we take away some of the positives that come out of those injuries, such as Wakely, Van Steenso getting added time and Govro getting added time, you're starting to see those little key things that Ryan Houlihan was able to do during the injuries to build up their confidence. And that's what's going to be paying off in the long run. And you know what? Good teams do go down through slumps, and it's a benefit that the battalion went through with such a hard patch in January, building some of their team character that may pay off in the long run for the playoff run. You don't want them going through a hard slump near the end of the season that could carry over into the playoffs.
Just checking with my producer here if he has anything for me. And we're ready to go. Let's listen to Coach Houlihan after the game.
Ryan, I don't think anyone expected 7 goals out of this game, but still, take us through quite the game for your troops.
Yeah, it was nice to see the offense come alive here, and I think just for the most part, taking care of business. I really liked our third period more than anything, because when the score gets to that, you just hope that you stick with your game and you keep that sort of team buy-in, and that's what we were telling the guys going into the third is this is the test of team buy-in at this point time in the year, because we obviously got some big hockey ahead of us.
Jackson, his first game back, and of course picking up a goal. Just thoughts on his return to the lineup?
Well, it's just interesting. You put him in there, and then the 3 guys with him, Petrov and Co, just seem to kind of make things happen. That looks pretty exciting. So we're looking forward to having him back. I think he's even going to get better as the next couple games go on, and he really gets into game shape.
Tarasevich picking up his first goal in Battalion Green as well. Thoughts on him?
Happy for him. He's been a guy that's come here and trying to find his way a little bit. He's been somebody that we notice that does a real good job on the penalty kill and the hard-working type of ice. And I think his nature as a skilled player wants to score goals, so it's nice for him to get the first one with us.
Dom, his first game action since playing the Ice Dogs last time, and really stingy performance as well. Just thoughts on him?
Yeah, he was great right from the start. He was real solid, alert, ready, everything that you'd expect from him. He was awesome.
A quick turnaround for tomorrow's game against the Steelheads, who are also a very stingy team as well. So after an offensive output like this, what do you expect from the team tomorrow?
Well, we got to approach every game the same way. They're a really, really good hockey club. Had our number the last couple times. What's good about kind of the way the game went is we didn't have to tax anybody here tonight. Nobody played ultra big minutes, so we'll just get ready, prepared, get some good nutrition, a good sleep, and go to Missy and have a good effort.
All right, thanks Ryan, and good luck tomorrow.
That was Ryan Houlihan after a 7-1 North Bay win. Bringing Ben just for a second. Ben, in a 7-1 game, you don't talk about goaltending, but I thought in the first 10 minutes, they needed Dom coming back after a concussion to be ready to go, right? To start on time, and he did.
Yeah. Specifically on Dom tonight, he faced 25 shots to only letting 1 goal. That's good anytime, let alone first game back after a concussion where you haven't seen game action in a little while. Because like the coach mentioned before the game about Jackson, especially with goalies, you can practice all you want, but it's not a game scenario. And for goalies where it's all about your rhythm and being in sync with what you're used to, there was a couple plays early in the game where I thought, oh no, maybe he's going to take a bit of time to get back into the groove. But it was, a few shots, made a couple saves, and he was right back into it, playing as great as we've seen him play all season.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll see Joe Verbetic tomorrow night. Big game tomorrow night, Derek. Before this 5-game winning streak, it looked like Mississauga was starting to run away with this division. But North Bay's 7 back now. Mississauga does have 2 games in hand. So if North Bay can get those 2 points in regulation tomorrow, they're making things interesting in the division again.
Yeah, and Mississauga's kind of going in the wrong direction as they've lost their last 3 games. So maybe this is an opportunity for the battalion to continue this momentum from tonight's game. Go down early. I want to see them get out quick out of the gates. Get one early, and let's keep building, and let's have a solid 60-minute effort tomorrow night. That's what they need to beat that Steelhead team.
You'll need good goaltending, so it doesn't matter who the Steelheads have in net. they probably have the best goaltending in the league. So should be an interesting one tomorrow night. And we'll be back on the air on our game day broadcast Sunday at 1:50 when the Battalion hosts their friends from Sudbury. And look forward to that one already on Super Bowl Sunday. Again, the final 7-1. For Matt, for Courtney, for Derek, for Ben, I'm Bob. Good night from Memorial Gardens.